Hello everyone! Hi! I'm Mattsuki. Hi, what's up? Haven't been here in a while, have I? We got Heisey, Blocky Logan here. Welcome. I am rebooting the NoobTuber podcast. Already stumbling on words, god damn it. But yeah, so I think for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be doing the NoobTuber podcast solo, and we might have guests on every once in a while. So hopefully that works out. I guess this is the first episode, so I want to keep the ball rolling. Again, hi everybody in chat today. We are looking at the official Call of Duty podcast episode 1. Like, it's literally from the Call of Duty YouTube channel. So yeah, it's 51 minutes long, 32 seconds. Supposedly they're going to be talking about a lot of Black Ops 6 stuff, so that's kind of cool. I'm just going to let my cat out real quick. All right, there we go. See ya, Sega. She says hi. Okay, let's go. Let's begin, I guess.
Rated M for mature.
Let me know if everything's loud enough too in chat. Thank you very much. Loading. I don't know what this is. I haven't seen it. I've seen clips of it on Twitter.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of the COD Pod. That's right, there are thousands, if not millions, of podcasts out there about Call of Duty, but this one,
like mine, the NoobTuber podcast
itself. My name is Miles Ross. I'm a Call of Duty lead commentator, psycho fan, and psycho fan.
Comment in chat if you guys are listening to any Call of Duty podcasts out there. Personally, I watch the Going Dark podcast, but that's like the only other Call of Duty podcast I know of, unfortunately. But if you guys know of any other ones that you'd like to link in chat, like, let me know. I'd be interested. But let's continue. This is Miles.
Which is never going to get old to say, but very, very excited to divulge some secrets from this incredible product. Steph, you...
And we've got Steph here too.
I'm Stephanie Snowden. I'm the Senior Director of Studio Communications. So I work across all the Call of Duty studios, which is awesome. Cool. And it's the cool, like, I love what I do. But a huge part of that is being part of the discussion with our players. So what better way to do that than to join the podcasting world? They'll literally give anyone a podcast these days. So that's why we're here.
That is why we're here. But this the idea...
the girl in the podcast... Shit, what was her name? I read your comments and I was like, Brie Larson. I actually don't know who that is. How so? Just like the looks wise or what? Brie Larson. Sorry, I'll read the comment out since this will be a podcast later too, so you guys can listen to it. Heisey says the girl in the podcast gives me Brie Larson vibes. Oh, her name was Stephanie, I'm pretty sure. It just came back to me. Brie Larson. Oh, did she play a Marvel character, maybe? Was she an actor for Marvel? Captain Marvel? Interesting.
Behind the COD Pod again is we've got very, very exclusive, obviously, access to developers, people behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, that's what we're here for.
On the show that you will definitely not be able to hear anywhere else. We're not going to give you the code. We're not going to tell you how to make the thing.
That's why we're reacting to it.
Yes.
And, answer some burning questions.
I gotta hear that exclusive info.
Which could be a good idea. We'll find out.
It's not like I can relay it to you guys
myself. If you want to be part of that conversation, please reach out to us. Post on social media to the platform of your choosing with hashtag CODPod. If you have questions, you want to let us know what you thought of the first episode, you want, mailbags, FAQs, we're going to have guests, we're going to have updates. You occasionally might hear some news here, which is very exciting. And so some announcements, some juicy little tidbits.
That's crazy.
Future projects and things that are in the pipeline from
Stephanie's the Captain Marvel actor. Her vocal fry reminds me of her. Oh, I see.
Modern Warfare 3 or for Warzone. And so we have some exciting stuff to get to today, including, as you mentioned, a special guest.
Very special guest. A man who is deeply involved in...
Oh yeah, to let you guys know, I actually am, I haven't been uploading a lot recently. I've been pretty busy. Newest video is almost done. It's just a response, I guess, to a comment I got on another video, but trust me, it's interesting. We dive into a lot of, I want to say biased takes, but it's a really good video. Trust me, please watch it when it goes out, maybe tomorrow or in 2 days. I think it'll probably be in 2 days, just because it'll take a while to upload. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm moving. I'm getting my first house. and I'm gonna have like my own Wi-Fi, my own internet connection, my own internet speeds and stuff. So I'm gonna actually be able to stream to you guys in higher quality. So that'll be super fun once I move in. Yeah, it's been pretty exciting in real life. Yeah, can't wait for that. Let's continue then.
Creation.
That's all I wanted to
Black
say.
Ops 6. Matt,
I'm gonna shut my window as
will
well.
be coming on the show later. The first guest, and a good one at that.
Matt is one of my buddies at Treyarch. He has been in the Call of Duty community for such a long time, is a badass, and I'm thrilled to have him on the show today.
A lot of fun. Oh, we're not going to be reacting to the trailer because that has already happened here in the Call of Duty world. We're definitely not going to do that because thousands of people have already done
we
that.
love your reaction videos. Don't stop. They're fantastic. I don't know if
That's
it was
me.
the fire
She's
starter,
calling out me.
Loved it.
Matt.
Shout out to
but
Prodigy.
it's been
Hello, Matthew Meep. Welcome. Osh, maybe she's talking about you too.
been amazing to see
Do you
the
work at
reaction coming out of the Xbox Showcase and the Developer Direct and revealing Black Ops 6 to the world.
The first time it's been involved
Yes,
with the
sir.
Xbox Showcase in 10 years.
Yeah, Phil said that. We think according to our calculations, I think the last title on the Xbox Showcase was Call of Duty Ghosts.
Woo! We've come on.
So it's been a while.
It's been a real long time. But one of the things we're going to be talking about today,
Wow.
campaign. Get to go a little bit deeper in campaign.
I guess that was due to the
we
Sony
saw a lot of
exclusivity.
awesome things in the
They weren't on
in the
Xbox
direct
Showcase,
and in
maybe?
the-
I don't know.
as part of the showcase. Outside of the trailer, this was really our first deep dive look into what to expect in terms of story and narrative of Black Ops 6, which, development is led by Raven. Raven also developed the Black Ops Cold War
Right.
campaign. Even though a lot of people just know them for Warzone, the campaign team there is rad and they're extremely talented.
Yeah, Cold War's campaign was pretty good. So yeah, Black Ops 6, its campaign's going to be made by Raven, and then the multiplayer and zombies is going to be made by Treyarch, which is kind of interesting. It's so weird to me that we have, like, the main studios aren't making all three modes anymore. Like, I don't know if that's a red flag or not, but I guess we'll have to see. I think it just kind of further adds to the potential of Black Ops 6 being a year one out of a year two Call of Duty game, sort of like how MW2 and 3 are like year 1 and 2 of a Call of Duty game. Yeah, I think that adds to the potential of getting a Black Ops 7 after Black Ops 6 the year after. But yeah, let me catch up on chat here real quick too. Nice to hear about you moving out. Thank you very much, Icy. I cannot wait. I am super excited. I got a new job as well. It's honestly a dream come true. I love this job. It's really fun. Great people there. I'm just gonna say it has to do with apparel. Yes.
They have some folks that have been on the team for a really, really long time, who've been making, behind the scenes with Black Ops and some other games happen for a while.
This is cool. And again, it's such a family affair here. There are so many big studios here in the
Yeah.
world. No one team handles things anymore. It's wild. But
Yeah.
we're looking at talking about campaign. We're going to talk a little bit about multiplayer. Are we going to talk about Warzone? We've got
covering
zombies.
stuff.
Might get a little taste of Warzone. We got season 5 coming up, so I don't want to leave that. We've got some new stuff coming there for Modern Warfare 3 for Warzone, and we'll get a little recap of zombies in the direct too. But yeah, I think in the campaign, just to kick things off, right? Like, let's talk about timeline, because I think this is one thing that people.
Yo, Chase was not here. What's up? Yeah, we're talking about timeline now. Is this for zombies?
are really confused about, except for our lore heads. Like, shout out to you guys making the YouTube videos.
Yeah, shout out to you, Mr. Raffle Waffles. I hope you get invited out.
I'm like, I can't remember when this.
Raffle Waffles, he is a very, very prominent Call of Duty Zombies YouTuber who has just been neglected by Treyarch as of late. Call of Duty, they usually not Call of Duty, like Treyarch and the main dev studios, like they usually invite people and YouTubers out to like play the games early and whatnot. Raffle Waffles was one of those YouTubers, but after Black Ops 4, they stopped inviting him out, which is so sad. Zombies also isn't like a yearly thing anymore either. Treyarch have primarily been the only ones doing zombies in their games, but yeah, Black Ops 4 came out, they had zombies for that. Then Modern Warfare 2019 came out, and that was an Infinity Ward COD, had no zombies. And then Black Ops Cold War came out after that, and it had zombies because it was made by Treyarch. And then something strange happened the next few years where Treyarch is making zombies as a very cookie cutter third mode for Call of Duty Vanguard, and yeah, I guess it was just Vanguard. And then after that, it was MW2 made by Infinity Ward. no zombies. And then after that was MW3 with another cookie cutter Treyarch third mode, zombies. Very unsupported, very strange. I forget why I was going on this tangent, but let's just hit play.
Happened in the flashback in Black Ops 2. Was that before or after this? And it's like, oh, you can go watch
thousands of hours.
100, yeah, like.
Yeah.
I think you may be lagging a bit. No, I think I'm lagging too on my stream. Let me lower the quality just a tad more. I don't know why it's dipping that much. That's unfortunate. Sorry, guys. Timeline for the campaign, they said? Oh, thank you very much.
Hundreds of
Seems
videos
like we're okay
about the story of Black Ops and how passionate a lot of the players are about it. And so it's amazing. And just to see what the content creators did with the direct has been super fun. But Black Ops 6 obviously happens. It's set in the early 90s. The campaign itself happens in 1991. The entire...
Try refreshing. All right. There we go. Hopefully that fixes it for you guys. It seems to be working on my end. I have it open on my phone.
I already have it happens in 1991.
I will keep an eye on it just in case it lags again.
Just confirmed.
Yeah.
It follows the events of...
Okay, so basically what I've heard so far from like the campaign timeline from the YouTubers that already got flown out for to Treyarch for some other stuff. I think it had to do with multiplayer or maybe it was just campaign. I'm not really sure, to be honest. But yeah, Chopper, he talked about this a little bit, and apparently it's gonna be like, I think Black Ops 1 it comes first, and then you got the Black Ops 2 flashbacks next. And then after that, it is this Cold War. Not Cold War. Wait, yeah, Cold War has to fit in there too. I don't remember what came first out of Cold War and Black Ops 1. But yeah, I think it's maybe Cold War next and then Gulf War. And then I think Black Ops 2's other not flashbacks, but Black Ops 2's futuristic era stuff happens as well. But let's hear it out. I want to know if that's canon or not.
It follows the events of Black Ops Cold War.
Okay, so it is after Cold War.
So the Cold War
this
is
campaign.
over.
Black Ops 6.
The U.S. is the only remaining superpower out there. And it's also directly tied to Black Ops 2 that are set in the 80s. And that obviously includes Hudson and Mason dying. Yes, they are dead. I am sorry. We do. But I did see a lot of people confused about that. They're dead. So unfortunately they died, but having worked so closely with Woods, obviously devastating for him, for Frank Woods. So two of the close.
Who she said it was? Hudson and who?
Mason dying.
Hudson and Mason?
And that obviously includes Hudson and Mason.
Shit.
So unfortunately they died.
They died. Oh yeah, they would have died in the past, the Black Ops 2s. For some reason I was thinking that they lived into the future. Unless what? Wait. Didn't Mason have a kid? David Mason, was it maybe? David. Wasn't it David? I could be wrong. I thought there was like a cutscene like later on where he was like with his kid in like a snowy area, but I don't know if that was a future cutscene. I haven't played the Black Ops 2 campaign actually. Like I played it like, okay, that's a lie. I've played a little bit of it. I played up to like the horse mission and then I gave up on that one because it was so annoying. And then I watched like a full playthrough of it, or 2 full playthroughs of it, because there was like multiple endings. I know about like the sniper sort of mission where you are Woods, and I'm pretty sure that's how Mason died. I'm not gonna say any spoilers there. But we might have to replay this campaign before the game comes out, so yeah, no spoilers. We'll save that in for that little lore drop for then.
But having worked so closely with Wood,
how did Hudson die? I don't remember Hudson dying though.
It's obviously devastating for him, for Frank Woods. So two of his closest friends and allies have, passed in this traumatic event at the hands of Raul Menendez, arch-villain in the Black Ops universe.
Raul Menendez, he was a pretty cool villain, yeah. Really like a badass intro too. With like the bleeding amulet necklace in the fire. It's pretty cool. Catching up on chat here. It's better now. I'm just a little bit behind, I think, lol. Oh, no problem. Just hit 2 times speed, catch up. I don't mind. I don't need the watch time. It's whatever. I mean, I do want it, but yeah, just catch up. It'll probably be better for chat. World at War to BO1. Oh yeah, World at War is also in it too. Is World at War canon? Or is Vanguard sort of like replacing it? Perhaps World at War is canon. I don't know. To Black Ops 1, to Cold War, to BO2 flashbacks, to BO6. Okay, so BO2 flashbacks are between Cold War and BO6. Gotcha. Mason dying being canon is so weak to me. Yeah, I also like when I first heard about this, because like this information came out a while ago, actually. Who was it? Who said that? No, it would have been like the YouTubers that got flown out. Yeah, because they brought that information back and they told us. And I was like, oh man, that is really stupid. I remember talking about it on Twitter because like that being the reveal, it's so shitty. And then also like the fact that Mason did die there is so unrewarding because of what you had to do to like it built Woods up as a smart character for the good ending of Black Ops 2, right? But now that Mason died and you got the bad ending, it makes Woods seem like he made a very terrible mistake, right? Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of, I think it undermines Woods' character a bit there. So I'm in agreement with you, Mr. Heisey. Alex Mason. Alex Mason? That's his kid? Okay. I thought it was David for some reason. I don't know. Or unless that is Mason's actual name. Perhaps it is. The flashback BO2 missions are in the late 80s, 1986 to 1989. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. I could tell you how Hudson died if you want, unless you don't want a spoiler. Sure, let's keep that a secret for now, and I'll just re-experience it when I play the BO2 campaign for myself. I'll do the BO1 campaign as well. I don't have World at War, unfortunately, but you don't really need World at War for the BO1 campaign. The BO1 campaign is sort of a self-contained story. One of the best Call of Duty campaign stories, so if you guys also haven't seen it, feel free to join me on that epic adventure. It's a really good campaign. But yeah, don't spoil. I'm sure Mason will appear in a a secret ending. Perhaps.
And
perhaps like a zombie spin-off ending.
Woods is traumatically injured.
Woods is traumatically injured.
Oh yes.
Woods is, well, you know, he's out of the field now, and that's like a very not Frank Woods thing. He's pissed. Yeah. Frankly, he's been injured. He lost his best friend. You know, he's behind a desk. He hates it. And he's got a new protege at the CIA in Troy Marshall. And so Troy Marshall's this really exciting new character that a lot of the what you will have seen in the developer direct is based on Marshall, and he's sort of this very like moral compass, justice driven guy at the CIA, and he's really making a name for himself. And I think, you know, Woods has got some feelings about that and kind of taking him under his wing, but also, you know, we're not really sure who we can trust in the Black Ops world. I think that's one thing that remains true. That's
one thing that the trailers have definitely sold to me.
So Woods doesn't trust this guy?
Like Adler, who is definitely...
Oh yeah, Adler's in it here too now.
Safe to say.
Yeah, we don't know what he's up to. I mean, he's back, right? Like, we saw him in the trailer. We know he's back. They talked about...
Yeah, like Adler's a new character. He's introduced in Cold War, and he wasn't in Black Ops 1 or the Black Ops 2 flashbacks.
Him a little bit, but I think one of the biggest things with Black Ops 6 and that signature Black Ops experience is sort of like...
And also Adler's like just to give a little bit of a rundown, Adler's also gone through... well, he went through the Cold War campaign, of course, where they took in Bell, and then he ended up murdering Bell at the very end. And then after that, throughout the seasonal cutscenes, Adler got brainwashed by, I think it was he Perseus? Stitch. It was Stitch. I think he brainwashed him, and then, what did he do? Adler, I don't know, he committed some sort of atrocity of some sort. I don't think they had it on screen. It was probably revealed somewhere through Easter eggs or something. Honestly, I don't remember. And then he ended up getting unbrainwashed in the end and supposedly killing Stitch. I don't think they showed him killing Stitch on screen either, probably because they wanted the game to be like, you know, E for everyone. But yeah, that's kind of the history of Adler and Stitch. I don't really know what Stitch's goal was. Just to cause terrorism, perhaps? I don't know. Some sort of brainwashing scheme. Not sure. They didn't really go in depth, I don't think.
Like, you know, old friends or allies might be enemies, and your enemies formerly may become your new allies. I think it's that subversion of kind of like what you know and trust and flipping.
Oh yeah, I heard about this too. This is like the summary or whatnot of the new story. Your friends become enemies, and your enemies might become friends or whatnot. Like, you don't know who to trust. It's sort of taken the original, I want to say, MW2 story where Shepard betrays you and kind of flipping it on its head. So maybe it's a little bit harder to distinguish who's on your team and who's not. But it does feel kind of similar to how, you know, Shadow Company and Shepard's men go against you out of nowhere, and now it's like your small little team of Task Force 141 are the outlawed sort of task force that's being hunted down by both the opposing country. In that game was Russia or Makarov's group, and then also your own country because it's corrupt.
That on its head and being like, what?
Not country, but general, I guess, of his little private army.
Like what is that, and what does it mean for our heroes?
What does it mean?
No, it's cool. I mean, just the fact that it continues on for me.
I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
Campaign is great. I mean,
Even
Cold
though
War,
it's similar.
That whole game for me was such a strong vibe, and obviously coming into the 90s, the early 90s, 91, even more sort of like powerful, you know, imagery. And I grew up, I'm a 90s baby.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe.
Not to
And
date ourselves,
Yo.
but like,
We know
yeah.
you're out there. We know you're listening. But that entire sort of the 90s is a vibe when it comes to action movies or whether it comes to music
Totally.
or culture. So I think it's going to be really cool to explore that in a time that I don't think Call of Duty's ever been before.
No,
So that's a vibe.
yeah, it's
Hopefully we
a
can
new,
stay in
it's a
that
new
time. That'd be
frame for
great.
Call of Duty, and certainly for Black Ops 2 makes the most sense. Like there's so many.
I'm so sick of
you've
silly
got kind of like
skins.
the Cold War ending, the Gulf War kicking off.
Just
you know,
ruining
a
the time
lot of
period.
people in the U.S. assuming that this is like the safest, you know, golden period that we've been in.
Prosperous.
For a
Yeah.
long time. When really, what you know, especially something that Black Ops is so good at it from a narrative standpoint, is digging into the sort of like the underbelly of that. Of course, we're not based entirely on real events. We're inspired by historical touch points, and I think
Let's
what
go.
you see, you know, the game, you know, flip and put into that Call of Duty story, that it's that blockbuster, you know, big action thriller, but it also has
Oh, yeah.
a little touch of spycraft and some really interesting things. So
Ravens talked about that in their campaign level design philosophy already. So apparently they are wanting to, they did some like analyzing or just looking back on the old Call of Duty campaigns, just to see what made them so good and why they're iconic, and they want to make every single level in this new Call of Duty game for Black Ops 6 like as iconic as can be, so like every level stands out. They want you doing something something cool, I guess, something memorable. They've just kind of, I don't know, they said that was like a huge part of their new campaign level philosophy, so we'll see how that goes. Let me catch up on chat a little bit too, since you guys are typing a lot here. Mr. Gamer, sup, Matt? Hi. Didn't know you had a VTuber model. Yes, I do. Didn't know. Well, it's in every one of my videos now. Maybe you're an old viewer. But yes, I do. Def gonna play the Black Ops campaigns in order before the BO6 launch? Yes, I will. Minus World at War. I'll try to do that. And we'll do like, if we have enough time, yeah, I'll definitely like go up to BO2 and maybe go to BO3, and I don't do we want to do BO4 specialist stories and whatnot there? I don't know. Yeah, BO4 doesn't have a campaign, but it does have specialist stories, and it has fragments of a campaign there through cutscenes and audio logs, I guess. Some very weird stuff in there, not gonna lie. And then Cold War also, we'll do Cold War, but we'll do it in like chronological order. I guess you can't really do BO2 in chronological order since it has some like futuristic cutscenes in there too, but you know what I mean. We'll do like the actual order that Chase said here. So Black Ops 1, then we'll go to Cold War, and then maybe BO2 after that, and then we'll do BO3. Fun fact: according to Mason dialogue in Cold War, Adler's team was next to Mason's team in the Black Ops 1 missions SOG. Huh, that's interesting. Mission SOG. Let me look that up real quick. SOG BO1. I want to recall which one that was. Oh, is it the desert one where you're like running across with machetes or something? Was that it? Well, regardless, let's continue with chat. That's really cool though. Woods got Spaz 12 to the kneecaps. Yes, he did. Poor Woods. I don't remember if that, like, I don't know. I saw this like meme sort of video floating around on Twitter where Woods just like gets up out of his wheelchair in the future and he's like, yeah, I'm not hurt at all. Let's just get up here and go behind stage and whatnot. I don't know if that was actually like something in the Black Ops 2 campaign just as like a little funny Easter egg, or if that was fan made or not. I really don't know. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but I thought that was pretty funny. Just remembered it. Fun fact, according to... Oh, yeah, I read that. I watched a really interesting video. Oh, hi, Blood Moon Angel, by the way. You're just showing up tonight. Hope you're having a good night. Let me know if you are or aren't. Hopefully you are. I watched a really interesting video that made the very valid point that Graves didn't really betray 141, and it was actually all just a massive misunderstanding. He made a lot of good points. I guess so. Well, let's see. In MW2's campaign, yeah, you're working with Shadow Company. Graves off the bat, I think, right? And then you go on that one mission where he says, oh, who is it? Someone's your brothers now. He says, I forget what that force was. It was Alejandro's army. He said they were your brothers now, I'm pretty sure. And then later on, Shepard is trying to split everyone apart. So he orders Graves to contained. Yeah, he says, your men have been contained. And then that set Alejandro off. But yeah, and then Task Force 141, he didn't really get ordered to go against Task Force 141 there. He just said that like they couldn't enter the base. So he was like giving them a chance to go out. And then Task Force 141 kind of went haywire on Graves once like everyone started getting rough with each other. And then some Shadow Company guys died in that little spat. But I don't know, man. I don't think Graves is that innocent, because literally in the mission alone, he's going door to door and killing people. I'm pretty sure that was kind of messed up, but I'd have to relook at the context of that. I don't know about that one. I don't know which video you watched, but if you want to say which one it was in chat, that'd be cool. Say who it was by and what the title was. Cardiac U. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Howdy. I wish there was a skin toggle for a manually select out your skins, what to see and what not to see. Me too, man. Me too. That would be just awesome for immersion in multiplayer and zombies, to be honest, too. It's such a good solution, too. It doesn't affect anyone negatively, unless you're like one of the whales that literally buys skins to piss people off. But at that point, you're just you're just the meanie. You're a big fat meanie. Chase says, I saw the next season 5 skins and it looks totally like Fortnite but worse. If someone told me those were the new skins for Fortnite, I wouldn't believe them 100%. Or you would have believed them 100%. Dude, in my next video I have a section sort of like going over the comments on that too. There was I think it was a Charlie Intel tweet that I included. It was him saying these are the next upcoming skins for season 5, and then I went over the comments on that, and god damn, there were so many people like, god, this looks awful. It looks even worse than Fortnite skins is what they were saying. But yeah, Black Ops 4 Specialist Stories basically made canon the fact that Mason survived. So Treyarch is going against their own canon? Did they? Mason. Yeah. Wait, wasn't that the cutscene? Wasn't there a cutscene in there where Mason like was with his son and they were in like a snowy area? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. That's odd. Unless that's all like in a simulation. Who knows? Oh, that was an official non-canon ending? There's a non-canon ending in a Black Ops 4? What? That's insane. That meme of Woods getting up out of the wheelchair was an Easter egg cutscene after the credits for Black Ops 2. Okay, yeah, I thought it was. Okay, good to know. It looked too professional to be fan-made, but then again, who knows? With modern technology, using like old assets, you could probably make something look that good. It was for the collab with Avenged Sevenfold metal band, a band that was or has been working with Treyarch since Black Ops 1. Oh, cool. He said Task Force 141 and Los Vaqueros. Oh, okay. Yeah. Task Force 141 and Los Vaqueros are your brothers now. Huh. I thought it was just Los Vaqueros, but I guess maybe they weren't working with Shadow Company and 141 beforehand. Video is why Commander Graves was right. Okay, I will try to check that out if I remember. The main point of that video was the fact that Alejandro knew Valeria, so he'd lost all his trust for Alejandro and Los Vaqueros after that. Oh, wait, Graves did? I thought, that's almost just like a convenient sort of timeline of events for, you know, Shepard to give the order while Graves has that motive behind him too, like to distrust Alejandro because of Valeria. But I don't know, that seems like a little bit too convenient. People seem to actually be getting tired of COD only making ridiculous skins. Oh fuck yeah. I'm all for it too. Like, fucking, I'm gonna encourage that behavior. Please tell them to stop doing it. It is ruining my enjoyment of the series. The BF4 cutscene is where Mason meets Reznov. Okay. I'm not going to question it because I don't remember. Oh no, I meant the non-canon ending was for Black Ops 2. Okay, gotcha. Graves' quote was, Mexican Special Forces, 1 for 1, they are your brothers now. Okay, that sounds more like him. But yeah, let's continue. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Can't wait.
Okay, let's talk global systems quick then, because
yeah, we can't wait any longer.
The stage
let's go.
is now set. Let's talk a bit about our pieces and how they're going to move. In this new game.
I see.
Thank you. Omni-Movement.
Omni-Movement.
Obviously,
Dude, I've actually had some experience with Omni-Movement. Let me know if you guys have had experience with Omni-Movement in any other video game. But I realized while playing it recently with Blocky Logan, my good friend in chat. I think he was in chat earlier at the start. Yeah, he was. Hi, Blocky Logan. We were playing a little bit of Lethal Company together, and yeah, that game has omnidirectional movement. You can sprint backwards. So I was like, oh shit, that's really interesting. So I'm still very, what's the word? Concerned? No. Terrified. I don't know. I'm still very like iffy on how this omnidirectional movement's gonna work in Call of Duty, because, you know, Call of Duty, I feel like the flow is just going to be completely changed. Like, it's going to get super sweaty probably, since you no longer have to have an offensive sort of play style. Well, like, not play style, but in Call of Duty, you're either on the offense or you're on the attack. When you're on the offense, you are usually dodging the cover in some way. But now that you can dodge the cover while being on the attack, it makes things a lot more sweaty, right? Like, you can't just have a grenade fly over a wall near you, and you gotta run to cover somewhere else and expose your back while other enemies are rushing you. Like, now if a grenade comes over a wall, you can just sprint backwards, probably at the same speed, and then maybe even like dive while aiming backwards to anyone who's rushing you at that moment. So it's gonna be literally like no one's gonna expose their backs to you. Everyone's gonna be a potential player that's shooting at you. Like, it'll be interesting. So I'm looking forward to this beta just to see what it plays like.
We've got a pro coming on the show later to talk about it, but you can sprint in any direction, you can dive in any direction.
Yeah.
Supine now.
Supine prone, full 100.
Supine
is really cool. It's in Rainbow Six Siege already. It's been part of Rainbow Six Siege since like what, 2013? 2012, I don't know, whenever Siege came out. But it's basically like being able to prone on your back and your stomach. You just kind of roll around. In Call of Duty, it's only been proning on your stomach. So there's this thing in Call of Duty called prone block, which is super annoying. But this sort of prone makes it so that you can, there's no such thing as prone block now, basically. You can go on your back and on your stomach and whatnot. You can just roll around 360, and you can also do this sort of like, what do they call it? Supine? What is it called again?
Dive in a direction.
Yeah.
You can go supine now.
Supine. You can do the supine sort of 360 in midair too while you're diving. That I found is kind of neat. There's not going to be any more sort of like a propeller blade diving like MW2 had last year.
Supine prone, full 100, full 360 degrees.
Supine is probably a word that most people don't have in their vocabulary, but now...
No, I don't have supine in my vocabulary, and you guys can probably tell because I'm fumbling it every time I say it.
The next time you lie down on the couch, you'll be like, am I supine?
Supine.
I think so.
And then you'll Google the word.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I heard it, I will say out of kind of like all of my favorite things about Omni-Movement, Miles and I have had a chance to play and get, you know, a bit of hands-on, quite a bit.
Just a bit.
I think for me, the supine prone is one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
I have been able to pull off some really wacky, fun stuff, and you know, pulling off these maneuvers, chaining them together. I think that's one really big piece about Omni-Movement that's people should be really exciting for, is not just, you know, sprinting 360, but how do you turn that into a slide, turn that into a dive, ADS.
Can you slide in the 360 sort of movement too? Interesting. That is interesting. Hello, I'm still here and I can confirm. Yeah! Omnidirectional movement in Lethal Company. Yes. Can't wait to get no scoped by someone 360 spin dolphin diving. You mean Supine 360 dolphin diving? God, how do you even spell that? It was Supine, right? Like soup line? Seeing that in like a Call of Duty like video not thumbnail, but title is just gonna be so weird. It's such a long word, and that's gonna suck as well. When you got you guys, not everyone here's a YouTuber, of course, but long words in YouTube titles suck because it takes up space, and you only have 60 characters really that you want to expose in your titles. Otherwise, it'll cut it off. It'll do like a little ... And it's just less appealing when it's a ... because obviously you can't read it unless you hover over it with a mouse. But a lot of people are on mobile, which they can't even do that. So yeah, you want to keep titles under 60 characters long. And if Supline's going to take up like 10 characters, SUPELINE, that's like 8 maybe, if it's even spelt like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's not good.
Wall sliding, you know, how you react to certain materials in the world as a player is something that is just, there's so many options. Like the possibilities are,
yeah, you can also like shoot doors now, and apparently that opens them. Wild. It just seems kind of weird to me, but
yeah,
sky high. And
that was in the trailer.
It's gonna be, I can't wait for people to get their hands on it, really feel it for themselves.
Same here. I want to try it out.
Beta, so make sure you're staying tuned to hear about our multiplayer beta. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
When is it?
On it.
And global systems also too. I know you talked about it, but global systems are anything that's across all 3 modes, right?
Yeah,
so Omni-Movement is MP, campaign, zombies. So
Please tell me we'll have like some sort of camo global system. That would be so sick to have camos in the campaign again. Back in Black Ops 3, you could actually like go for camos in the campaign. Black Ops 3 had its campaign specific camos. Like you can go for multiplayer camos in the campaign. I'm talking about like there was like 4 or 5 different camos, like Arctic and Jungle and whatnot. They were only in the campaign, so you had to get like 400 kills for all 4 camos or something like that with one gun. The campaign also had like a whole create a class thing in it too, which was kind of cool. It was neat. I like the idea, and I hope they bring that back.
Another good reason to play the campaign first. You get to hone your Omni movement.
There might be a tutorial moment where they want you to dive through.
Camos in the campaign also just give it more replayability.
But no, I'm really excited to experience that and
sharpen the skills.
And I know I like to run the weapons first. See how the game feels. Dive into MP and look a little bit better than everyone else. One thing about MP though that's really huge.
All right,
Classic
Miles.
Prestige has returned.
Traditional Prestige is back.
I have a hot take here. Prestiging. It's not as good as everyone makes it out to be. I'm sorry, but prestiging was like a huge just oversight. What do you want to call that? So there's only been like one Call of Duty that's got prestiging right, and that was like Infinite Warfare. Because here's the thing. Prestiging, this is how it works, if you guys don't know. You have a player level. Once you get to level 55, you can enter prestige mode. And what that does is it resets you to level 0, and you lose all of your loot that you've gained up to that level. So guns and guns and streaks and perks, and depending on the Call of Duty, like in the pick 10 CODs, you'd lose loadout slots too from that pick 10. I think in the original MW3 you also lost your camos, which kind of sucked, but they don't do that anymore. They haven't done that in a long time. But yeah, that's what old prestiging was like. And once you prestige, like the only rewards they used to give you were just like an extra loadout slot, which isn't the best thing. Like I feel like that's stuff that you should be awarded off the bat because that's what makes you versatile. But also we don't need, actually we kind of do need 10, but we also have like a mid-match class customization right now too, so it's not the biggest deal if you can't have as many loadouts, but it's still it went from an essential, or not essential, it went from a prestiging, or not prestiging, the loadout slots kind of went from something that's like essential because there wasn't any mid-match class customization, so it was essential to something that's quality, a big quality of life feature now, where you get 10 off the bat, or 12 on PlayStation for some stupid reason. It should be 10 or 12 on all platforms, but for some reason PlayStation gets 12 and everyone else gets 10. But yeah, prestiging. The problem was that there wasn't enough rewards, and Infinite Warfare introduced these new rewards that were classic weapons. So you actually got something worth your time and energy for prestiging. It wasn't just something that like resets you and you're powerless. You'd actually do it for like worthwhile rewards. You get new guns. They were called classic weapons, and you could choose whichever one you wanted. There was an arsenal of probably around, I want to say, 10 classic weapons in Infinite Warfare, including primaries and secondaries. You got a classic weapon, I think, every 2 prestiges as well. And then also Infinite Warfare had like the unlock tokens too for every prestige. So that was kind of a fun aspect. The only fun aspect, I guess. So like when you prestige, you get reset, but with this unlock token, you have specifically one either weapon or loadout slot or attachment or streak off the bat. So when I get reset to level 0, I could spend that token on maybe a sniper that unlocks at level 54. So I wouldn't even have to get to level 54 again for that, which is super nice, especially for camo grinding. But I don't think it's as hype as everyone makes it out to be. It was kind of just there before, and not many Call of Duties really gave enough rewards for it to make it worthwhile. So Infinite Warfare was like the only one where I actually went and prestiged a bunch of times. I think I got to prestige 15 in Infinite Warfare, but like after that I was just kind of like, why even do it anymore? Like once you get to prestige 10 in Infinite Warfare and you've unlocked like 10 things, because you get those prestige tokens, right? And they persist through prestiges too. So if I unlocked something at level 54 in prestige 1, and then prestige 2 unlock something at level 32, I'd still have the 54 and the 32 ones items unlocked, which was kind of nice. So when I got the prestige 10 and kept going after that, like I already had all the classic guns at that point at prestige 10. From prestige 11 to 30, you gain nuke variants of weapons in that game, but I don't know, they just weren't they weren't different guns at all. Like they just allowed the ability to go for nukes, so it wasn't really worth it at that point. I think World War II added something really cool too for prestige rewards in the master prestige ranks. They were just some skins, but they added them way too late into the life cycle. So at that point it was like, well, you know what, I'm prestige 2 because I wanted to see what would happen if I prestiged, and yeah, nothing really happened, so I didn't keep going. I just stayed at level 55 and played the game like that. So yeah, you need rewards off the bat. Please learn from Call of Duty World War II. Sorry, I've gone on this tangent for so long. I'm gonna read chat, and then we'll quickly get back into the podcast to see what they have to say about prestiging. Hopefully there is rewards. That's what's number 1 on my list. Give us good rewards, please. Please. Also, something that might make prestiging better in new Call of Duties, I just want to say this real quick. If you prestige and you lose all your loot, and you're forced to use, hopefully you're forced to use like lesser powered weapons off the bat. Like hopefully the meta guns, like, you know, M4 is usually a meta, MP5 is usually a meta. Hopefully those types of guns are unlocked like way later into levels so that you don't get them off the bat. That'd be kind of nice. And since there's like skill-based matchmaking in newer Call of Duties, that would just kind of nerf players if they prestige a little bit. It wouldn't make them just sweat lords off the bat. Modern Warfare 2 kind of did something nice about that, where they forced players to use all the guns in the game to get attachments, which I pointed out in my Modern Warfare 2 is underrated video. That kind of made things a little bit less sweaty too, which was super nice. So prestiging could sort of bring back that sort of effect. So that's another positive, I guess, in modern COD. But yeah, let's catch up on chat real quick. My only hope is that snapshot grenades and spotter return. Those two helped a lot against door campers. And spotter was the one that I think saw equipment through walls, right? No. Well, yes. Yeah, Modern Warfare 2019 had spotter do that, but I think Modern Warfare 2019 changed it so that EOD could also do that later on, and then you could hack it with EOD, right? Or maybe it was a different perk that they combined together in that game, but Yeah. That's cool. I don't know if there's going to be claymores in this game. They might just do bouncing betties again. That would be so nice. I'm so like done with claymores. Claymores are just broken. They haven't rebalanced them like I wanted. See, the perfect balance you could have for claymores is just make them the opposite of bouncing betties. Like, there's a counter to bouncing betties, and it's very easy. When you hear it go off, you go prone. You avoid the explosion by going prone. So why not with a claymore? If you step into the laser beam, you have like a split second to jump. Like, that's just the opposite of a bouncing betty. Like, bouncing betty goes off, it flings into the air, explodes, you just go prone. Claymore, you trip it with your foot, you hear a little tick, you jump in the air, and it explodes only on the ground. Like, it's just so obvious. Like, that would be such a good, like, organic nerf for it, and it doesn't require you to use a perk to counter it. Like, that's how you create clutch perks. I don't want a clutch perk like EOD or a spotter. It's nice to have those perks in the game if you just like want to make it easier. That's what perks should be for, but they shouldn't be clutch. You need perks that are just helping you slightly, not completely counters, not completely countering stuff that can't be countered otherwise. But yeah, that's that. The only reason I like Prestige to restart from level 1 and getting that level up experience again. Oh, is getting that level up and experience again, I guess. Oh yeah, another thing about the prestiging though. So in modern CODs where we have like, this was my argument back in Modern Warfare 2019 for why we don't need prestiging in that game, but in modern CODs we have guns with so many attachments that, and they take so long to level up that you almost don't really want to prestige, because it like you want to use all the guns in the game as much as possible, right? And when they don't have like, 12 levels like in the Call of Duties with prestiging, they have like what, 50 to 70 levels per gun nowadays. Yeah, prestiging just kind of makes it harder to level up guns. But I don't know, maybe it's not as much of an issue as I'm making it out to be. I'd be down for prestiging again. It's been so long since we had it. It wouldn't hurt. I'm not really hyped for it, but it's fun to have. Blood Moon Angel says, I have a sore throat infection right now. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you recover from that fast, man. I've been sick for the past like 3 or 4 days. Not yesterday, but I think 3 days before that, 2 days before that. I was pretty sick, had a very runny nose and was coughing and sneezing. That's why I think I said it on Discord too, that I was feeling too sick to do this podcast stream. But we're doing it today because I'm feeling a lot better, despite my throat being a little dry right now. So I'm going to take a little sip of water. I've been talking a lot. I have a sore throat infection right now, so not feeling the best. That sucks. As a side note, prestiging can really be cool if the reward is worth it enough. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Cardiac U says, yeah, spotter allowed claymores / equipment to be seen through walls. Originally it was EOD, but it got moved to spotter. Okay, so other way around, my bad. What if after you prestige you get a... I don't think you meant to say that, but I think you meant to say permanent 5 XP. Yeah, I see with the eyebrow. You get a pregnant 5% XP increase per prestige. It's that sore throat speaking, am I right? But yeah, a permanent 5% XP increase per prestige. Depends how many prestiges are in the game, right? Like Infinite Warfare had 30 prestiges. A lot of Black Ops games have 10 prestiges, and then after that you go to level 1000. I feel like if you had like that 5% every prestige up to 10, like that's a 50% increase at prestige 10, right? And that's just gonna make the grind from level, like the final prestige, like level master prestige ranks from level 1 to 1000. That's gonna make it way too fast, I think, right? 5%, maybe a little. That might be a little bit too fast. Also considering like how like there's double XP tokens in the battle pass too every season that you can get. It might just make leveling up a little bit too fast. I don't know how. That definitely wouldn't be the reward I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that I can show off, such as like a camo. Not even a camo, like let's get us something new, please. I wouldn't mind seeing like, you know how Minecraft has like those new armor trims right now? That'd be really cool to see on like Call of Duty weapons, I think. sort of maybe like attachment trims, perhaps. I don't know if you guys play Ghost Recon games, but like you can customize your camo in that game plus your attachment camos. Basically, if it was in Call of Duty, it'd be cool for every prestige you could get like a new trim for your gun. So by that I mean, if I had like let's just say a silver trim, right? That'd make all the attachments silver. I think Rainbow Six Siege also has it like that. There's like two different sort of like camos you can, like camo kits you can put on your guns in Rainbow Six Siege. One's for your attachments and the other one's for your main chunk of your gun. But that'd be something I'd like to see. Like there, I just made it up on the spot. Like I'm pretty sure if I could do it, a Call of Duty developer could think of something, right? Even a charm, that'd be cool. Give me like different skulls. Like, oh my god, yes, bring back skulls. Prestiging used to be really like loved by the COD community too, just because of like the skulls and whatever sort of emblem you get beside your name, depending on what prestige you were on. That'd be awesome to see return, but as like, you know, you get it beside your name plus a 3D version of that emblem as a charm on your gun. That'd be sick. I'd love to see that. What else could you do? You could do skins again, of course, but I don't know if that's really the best thing to do. It kind of removes personalization, I think, just because we have skill-based matchmaking now. If you're a high-skill player, you're just going to be with other high-skill players. You don't really stand out, right? That was kind of the point in other Call of Duties. You wanted to be good at the game so you could stand out with your Master Prestige skin in COD World War II, or, you know, your nuke guns in Infinite Warfare, or whatever the other Call of Duties had. But yeah, that doesn't really work as well in newer games. But yeah, that's why I say a charm would be awesome. I think, okay, so one thing for sure, definitely put a skin at the max rank. That would be sick again to have. Modern Warfare 2 did that last year. I want to go for it still. That'd be fun. But yeah, that's, I guess, that's pretty much all the rewards I can think of off the top of my head. Hey, Sabotage! We're just talking about prestige rewards that they could implement into Black Ops 6 right now. Yo, yo, yo. Hope you're having a good night, man. That threw me off, not gonna lie. Yeah, Sabotage, we just got done talking about the pregnant 5% XP bonus per prestige. Dope reward, right? What do you think about the 5% pregnant XP bonus? Is that something you'd be down for? It'd be cool if for Max Prestige you get either a really cool Max Prestige exclusive skin or 2000... Is my stream lagging? Uh-oh. Sorry about that. It'd be cool to see Max Prestige if you get a really cool Master Prestige exclusive skin or 2,400 COD points as a reward. Ooh, that's actually really good too. Yeah, give us COD points. Fuck, that would be awesome. Call of Duty needs some sort of way to get more personalization and whatnot. I just wrote down like a video idea I had sort of talking about stuff like that, so I'm not going to talk about it now because that'd be a spoiler and it'd spoil the whole video, man. But yes please, I would love to get 2,400 COD points for doing something. Like just 2,400 COD points and I get to like pick one bundle from the store. Like, goddamn, yes please. Reward your players, Activision, for playing your game. Thank you. That'd be so nice. I feel appreciated. Bloodmoon says, honestly, I think the 5% XP increase sounds great and not too bad. A 5% increase at the beginning is barely noticeable, but it stacks up. Yeah, it does. Prestige only will be good if the game is. Yeah. That too. I assume we're gonna get like those prestige unlock tokens, like the permanent unlock tokens too, like for every prestige. So hopefully there's no meta guns in the game, because if there is and they're not balanced right, if you prestige, everyone's just gonna unlock the M4 or whatever the meta gun is, and prestiging won't really reset anyone in the end because skill-based matchmaking exists. And so if you're a high skill player, everyone's gonna be using the meta guns in the game the whole time. It's gonna suck. It's gonna make prestiging pointless. But to continue, let's go. We're only 11 minutes in for some reason. What the heck?
Trad.
Was just like, this was something that was all for the community. You know, Treyarch has worked really hard, I think, at making this the best possible version of what people know and love about traditional MP, but obviously we haven't, that hasn't been in since Black Ops 4.
Yes, we're back, we're back.
You know, pre-Warzone, and so the game has changed a lot.
If it does that, really just refresh. It should fix it.
classic prestige forward so that it worked, you know, in a really rewarding way that potentially was not as punishing as iterations past. And so I think this classic prestige that is offered in Black Ops 6 is a really unique balance of those things, and people have a lot of things to get excited about.
I have a lot of
All right, so they're not even going to talk about it? God damn it. Anyway, even if the prestige rewards are awesome, the grind may not be worth it. Yeah, it depends. It just all depends on literally everything. So we're just kind of speculating right now. We don't know anything about this game, man. We just got to get our hands on it.
Playing through multiplayer the first time, prestiging, starting everything
Talk
again.
about nostalgia.
Yeah,
like this
Nostalgia bait is a bad sign.
it really is. Like I'm
Give me some substance, guys. Like, stop with the nostalgia bait BS.
definitely getting very nostalgic over it. But I mean, I know for a lot of other people it means so much. A friend of mine, he told me a story about when the game comes out on release, he and his dad, they both get a copy, and they both race to Prestige 1. And I think the winner has to buy the other a steak dinner. They have to go out for a super expensive steak dinner or something. But the idea that they do, like, they have that wonderful race, you can only really do that with a classic Prestige. Because then you kind of get to reset the game and play all of it again, and it's like...
What? What is this guy talking about? Going to Prestige 1 is just going to level 55. You can do that in every single one of the modern CODs when it comes out. What do you mean?
a different way.
Like Modern Warfare 2019, you just had to get the level, I think it was 55 at launch, and then they did per season you went to from level 0 to 155, or maybe it was 150, but literally it was still there in modern CODs. Like, dudes, they're talking about a prestige system, how awesome it is, and this guy's talking about, Miles is talking about how there's this one guy doing like get to the max level for the first time. Like, they're not even talking about prestiging.
Way.
Okay,
I'm so
sure.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm really stoked for that. Not just for
Like, this is just nostalgia bait.
father-son relationship, but also for the idea that I get to relive that again.
So many people have those stories and those moments. I think throughout Call of Duty, that's, you know, we celebrated 20 years of Call of Duty last year, which is absolutely wild. But when you hear...
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Blood Moon. Getting those to level 55 is not hard at all. So we're back. Yes, we are. Anyway, even if the prestige rewards are awesome, the grind may not be worth it. Sorry, I already read that. My bad. Let's
stories
continue.
like that about people making memories, having those moments and those connections in the game, like that's what it's all about. I think especially for us, in terms of, you know, the folks who work on it every day and come to work and want to make a game that's like fun and rewarding and exciting for people, and doing that and bringing them together. And so I love hearing that, and we'll definitely be looking for the prestige races. Like, I'm already like, I will be glued to the streams that day. Just like, cannot wait.
Saying that there's so many levels to this, and there is a secret unlock which we're obviously not going to talk about. I don't know about it, but
Secret unlock.
there is something you unlock if you max mega ultra max prestige, which is not the official name.
If you min-max, guys, practice your mewing. You'll get to the secret prestige level.
But you know what I mean.
We've done the
max mega ultra max prestige.
Mega ultra max prestige.
But you know what I mean.
We've done the
What? So we're talking about master prestige ranks. Okay, sure.
on that, and it's a lot. So we'll be excited to talk about it. And Lawrence is awesome. If you haven't seen his prestige section in the direct, definitely go back and watch it.
Very cool.
Or watch the tons of videos the community has made about it too, because some of the content creators actually got to come to Treyarch and get a little sneak peek of Black Ops 6, and so there's some videos out there from them as well. But yeah, we'll be talking more about it at Call of Duty Next, which
Okay.
you know, if you don't know, is our worldwide multiplayer reveal event.
Oh, we know.
August 28th.
You guys have done it
so
twice,
that's when we're really
and
diving into
I don't think
things like
either one of them has
Prestige,
been
like
that
MP maps. It's,
great.
You know, first
Unfortunately.
gameplay we're seeing
Yes.
of Black Ops 6. So
Yes.
many exciting things.
Let's
think-
talk zombies though, because this is another major change.
I think MW3's COD Next was definitely the worst because it pissed so many people off. Like with the whole zombies not timeline, but zombies, like what's canon and what isn't. Like they merged the MW campaign universe with the zombies universe, which made so many people, including myself, pretty mad at them. That just pretty much devalued everything that happens in the campaigns from now on out, especially now that the like Modern Warfare series campaigns are not that great. Like, no one cares about them anymore. Everyone's gonna be caring about the zombie story. You just ruined the new Modern Warfare reboot series, unfortunately. But yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully this COD Next is better.
I'm coming into BO6. Round based is back.
Round base is
That's
back.
huge.
Biggest, like, just huge news.
Also, quick comment here. I hate that people have called like classic zombies round-based zombies because literally Outbreak is still round-based. There's rounds. And then it's just confusing everyone's terminology here. I hate it so much. They should have just called it classic zombies. I don't know why we're calling it round-based zombies. Even Vanguard has rounds because every time you complete a challenge in Vanguard, it goes into the next round. So yeah, tangent over.
News for the zombies community out there who are among the most passionate vocal group of people that I have, like, in terms of communities. They're so awesome, and just, you know, hearing people just be so positive about RBZ being back and, you know, Treyarch back at the helm for the zombies mode is just
there's a lot
so
of justice moments, I think, for the community, which is really cool. 2 new maps, which is
2 new maps
pretty wild.
2 maps at launch.
Yeah. So
notes?
again, the creators came in a little bit ago now, and so
I think the last COD that had 2 zombies maps at launch was Black Ops 4, right? I think it was 2 and 4. Maybe it was 3. But that's good news. We haven't had 2 in a while.
we're excited to show this off to them. But we have 2 brand new round-based zombies maps coming at launch, and they are called Liberty Falls and Terminus.
Liberty Falls sounds really cool. I like that name.
And they actually happen concurrently. So you play
that
one,
mean?
you play the other, you'll understand how that fits together in the narrative, which I'm not going to talk about, but I can tell you there's some really exciting things. And it basically...
Concurrently. Oh, at the same time, simultaneously. Why is concurrently a word when simultaneously is a word? What's the difference? Okay, whatever. So basically, they're taking place at the same time, and they said that Zombies Crews are coming back. So that means either there's some time travel BS happening with the same crew, or we have 2 crews, which would be awesome. That'd be cooler, I think. But yeah, I guess we'll find out how that works, is what they said.
follows up with where we, last left off zombies in Black Ops Cold War. So
what even is the point of this podcast if not giving any substantial information? It's literally just carpo yapping. Yeah, I think they're pretty much just talking about what we already saw in the reveal trailer so far. I think the map names for zombies, that was new, right? I'm pretty sure Raffle Waffles figured them out beforehand, just through some Easter egg solving or whatnot. I'm not really a zombies creator, so I don't really know. I watch Raffle Waffles here and there. But yeah, I don't know. We're not getting much new yet. I think what this podcast is sort of here to do is, well, yeah, of course, to reiterate what we've already known and just sprinkle a little bit of new stuff here and there and confirm some stuff as well. But I think what they want to do with this podcast is eventually turn it into something where they can answer the community's questions. Because at the start, yeah, they were talking about how you can tag them. There's nothing showing up here. I don't know, somewhere around here, they were talking about how you can do like hashtag CODPod and type your questions in there for them so that they can answer them later. I'm not sure if their questions they answer are going to lead up to another hour. They might just do 30-minute podcasts later because that's going to be a lot of questions if they want to get it to an hour. But yeah, I don't know. It's the first one. It could just be the first episode. Who knows?
fans of the narrative and the story in RBZ are going to be excited to see,
Awesome.
How that gets paid off.
They're still finding their
ground. We're going
ground.
to have zombies at next, so you're going to get to see people playing zombies live, and we'll be talking about a lot more in the next few months.
I can't wait. Okay, you've touched upon multiplayer slightly. Obviously, multiplayer is my favorite part of Call of Duty. It
You
has
don't
been
say.
for 20
No
something years
way.
now. What do you know?
That's
I'm
crazy.
really excited to get into Black Ops 6. Between
Like 80%
and
of
everything we
the
expect
actual
from,
COD fan base.
from multiplayer, like we sort of know what we're getting now. 16 maps at launch.
Wild.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Inflation! It's 12. It's 12. Stop saying 16. This is just like how in previous years they were like, oh yeah, we're getting yeah, like for Modern Warfare 2, I think. I think they said we were getting 16 for that game too, but they were including the freaking battle maps from Ground War and then also the 2v2 maps. It's like, no, it's not actually 16. Stop saying this is multiplayer maps. No, stop. I'm interested
I mean,
in
the
6v6.
team at Treyarch has been cooking, and so that's 12 core 6v6 maps
There we
at
go.
launch and 4 strike maps, making the full 16 for launch. And strike maps are similar to face-off maps.
Those some of
from
that
Black
to
Ops Cold War.
shipment.
So
Okay.
think like 2v2 up to 6v6.
I'm
They're 2v2 sized, is what she's saying.
so excited for multiplayer, though, Steph. I'm frothing for multiplayer.
We've all periodically been filming.
See, what I think is what's going on here is these 4, I forget what they called them. I'm just gonna say 4 2v2 size maps. I'm pretty sure what they plan on doing here is doing something similar to MW3, where a lot of people were just, getting bored of shipment. They didn't like seeing the same visuals. They thought they just wanted something new to play on. That's still a grind map. So then they started adding a bunch of grind maps throughout the seasons. I feel like this is what they're planning for launch here. They're wanting to get people away from shipment, but also into very, very similar maps. So they're just going to put these 4 into a playlist, and it's just going to be grind mayhem.
At the mouth waiting for
That's my prediction.
Black Ops 6 multiplayer. I could say that personally because every time I play it, I'm just
There's something cool, new, different. Yeah.
I just have had the best time.
I've been playing COD for a very, very long time. COD 2 was my first because I'm not that
Oh,
old.
damn.
No offense to the
our
elder
fellow
states
olds.
folks.
He doesn't look that old. Look at his hair. Bro looks stunning. His hairline, damn, it's better than mine. Bro looks like a Chad. Terminus Island was teased all the way back in season 3 of MW3 Zombies, I believe. Oh, interesting. Probably throughout the lore, right? I didn't play MW3 Zombies that much. I intend to play it sometime, but I don't know, just haven't gotten around to it. Fletcher, the CEO of Terminus Outcomes PMC, started his first Zombies mission in Terminus Island. Oh, okay. Face off, question mark? Do they mean a gunfight? Yes. But okay, so just to fill you in, Cold War had gunfight maps, which are the 2v2 maps, but then they introduced a new game mode throughout the year, and that mode was called Face Off. Face Off was just 6v6 on the 2v2 maps, all the 2v2 maps in the game. So respawns are enabled. It's literally just shipment. Bad spawns. That's what Face Off was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but COD 2 was my first game, and obviously it's changed dramatically since then. It's changing constantly, and every game is different in its own way. But there are still those core things you can expect, and you're getting a similar experience every time you're getting Call of Duty. But this one, between Omni-Movement and I know there are completely new weapons, like 100% new
To the franchise.
to
Yeah,
the
I've never
franchise.
been in Call of Duty before. Yeah.
We're getting a lot of new, and we're really pushing the boundaries of it's still COD. Don't get it twisted, folks. But it's
Is it?
a lot of brand new here, which is really exciting.
Miles, who better to lead us through a burning questions answer discussion about Omni-Movement than the man himself, the Associate Director of Design at Treyarch? We're welcoming Mr. Matt Schronson to the Cod Pod as our very first guest. Matt, are you just... You look like you're blushing. You're probably so excited to do this.
Yeah. I'm not falling asleep.
I am always blushing.
Always blushing. Yeah, I'm
we feel
pleasured
extremely
to be here,
honored that you
guys.
joined us for
Sorry.
the first episode.
Here, I'll
so
move.
thank you for being here.
There's
Thank
Matt.
you very much.
Matt, you have such a cool story about how you ended up in your position, and Miles and I were talking earlier about how we just find that it's one of the most inspirational stories that I know in game dev, and certainly here at Call of Duty. And I would just love for you to take us through kind of your journey and now leading so many
do.
aspects of design at Treyarch on Black Ops 6.
Matt, for the record, the most inspiring
Yes,
story.
he did say
Yeah, well,
the most.
Aw.
It's number one for me personally, mate.
Well, I'm glad you think so.
Oh, he's got a 20-year
yeah, sure,
shirt on.
I'm super
cool.
fortunate to be where I am, and I think the journey to get here is what makes me feel so fortunate. I'll try to keep it brief. Gaming since,
No, go
I was
in
sitting on my
depth,
dad's lap
please.
playing the Atari back in the day, but fast forward, growing up in North Carolina, 2005 rolls around, Call of Duty 2, one of my first loves with the
Oh, he's also a Call of Duty 2 guy.
franchise. That kicked it off, played every game since then. And then around 2007, World at War, leading up to World at War, I don't exactly remember how, but I got an opportunity to be an official moderator on the official Call of Duty forums, which through that kind of official forum
the first
capacity,
Discord mod for COD, yo.
Came to know some of the developers at Treyarch, Dan Laufer, David Vonderhaar, Kevin Sherwood, some of those who are still here at the studio today, and just got to chatting with them. And I mean, long story short.
Hey, Twinkle, is this technically a codcast? Yes, it is. Welcome, welcome. I'm kind of rebooting the NoobTuber podcast series. This is my first episode. I'm also experimenting myself. We're just kind of reacting to the actual COD pod. So I think, yeah, from now on, we'll just be leeching off the actual COD pod with my own COD pod, while also providing you guys new episodes on this COD pod as well. So hopefully that works out.
Vaughn, the studio design director at the time, after about a year or so, as they were starting to ramp up on Black Ops 1, he asked me if I wanted to come out and kind of work with him and provide a player perspective on Black Ops 1 as they worked on it.
Bro's a coderator. Yeah, the coderator in the flesh. I tried pressing play on this podcast on my phone for some reason.
I was doing landscaping at the time.
What am I doing? It's too late.
So I didn't have to think about it too hard. I didn't have much going on back in North Carolina, so I drove across the country in 3 days, and I've not left since. Really, I've done whatever I could do to stay in the office. I'll sweep the floors. Whatever you need me to do, I'm here. But yeah, 14 years since then, worked on every Black Ops game since the first one in varying capacities, always kind of a focus on gameplay and multiplayer. So that's my story.
It's so awesome. The first time I heard it and meeting you, I'm just absolutely floored at that journey. And driving across the country to Los Angeles, is that like quintessential California?
I don't even know my
let's hope
states.
this works out dream.
I'm a Canadian.
Totally
what can I say?
And just you've accomplished so much already with
you said you had a 3-day drive, so that's a lot.
But I think especially with
That's
Black
all
Ops
I
6,
know.
we have this amazing new feature with Omni-Movement that we've started to get the sneak peek at with the Xbox showcase and the Direct. Miles and I have had the chance to play with it.
We've had hands on
a little bit.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
it's absolutely wild. It's so exciting. And I wanted to ask you too, especially in thinking about your history and your previous experience on the Black Ops titles, like how did you really arrive at Omni-Movement? What was sort of the journey like for you to get there?
Twinkle says, also, what was the face-off bit about? So they said that they were adding 16 maps to multiplayer, and then they're like, yeah, but 12 of them are 6v6. So yeah, the 4 maps that they also inflated the number with are these face-off maps. We were just talking about them. Blood Moon, I don't think knew what they were, but yeah, Cold War had face-off, which was just the 2v2 maps in 6v6 respawn. That's just what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Omni-Movement, what was sort of the journey like for you to get there?
All right, let's see.
It's a great question, and
Yeah.
you use the word journey. We use that a lot, and kind of everything does have a journey, and Omni-Movement's no different. I mean, so to go to the very kind of genesis of it, it came from us thinking about what it really meant to be a Black Ops game. And as we thought about Black Ops 6 and building it from the ground up, as we moved over to the unified engine, we were asking ourselves some very hard questions. And one of those was, we always kind of said, it's got to be signature Black Ops. It's got to be signature Black Ops. And so we actually took a step back and said, well, what does that actually mean? Like we're saying those words, but do we know what the definition of signature Black Ops is?
Right.
Yeah, do you?
And
do
there's
you?
a lot that comes with that.
Do you know what that means visually?
Us as developers, how we feel about it, but it's of course also how our players feel about Black Ops and its various iterations over the years. And
movement's always been a huge part of that experience, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's where the arcadey word comes into play, and so we did kind of shift that to what we call action hero.
Right.
I love that.
So Black Ops 6, it really kind of started with, what does it mean to be signature Black Ops? Part of that is this.
Twinkle says, kind of makes me think that, or why they haven't brought back Face Off as a companion to Gunfight. I think, I feel like they have. They just haven't called it Face Off. They just call it Small Map Mosh Pit. It's pretty much the exact same thing, right? In MW3, they put all the 2v2 maps in there. Well, the new 2v2 maps, I guess. Well, no, that's not true. Stash House, I don't even know if that's 2v2 or not. I haven't even played MW3's 2v2 since like launch. So yeah, I didn't even play like the new 2v2 map they added. They've only added one 2v2 map to MW3. Isn't that insane? It's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's it's kind of in the game right now for MW3, but yeah. That's not much to say there.
You know, pushing the boundaries, and then for Black Ops 6, really pushing on getting that feeling of being an action hero, which I think ties really nicely with
action hero.
You know, the spy thriller campaign, zombies, of course, like action hero opportunities abound, and then of course multiplayer.
That is the feel for me. That's the vibe, and I feel like you're nailing it here. It was perfect.
Just for you.
Thanks,
we did it. That's fine.
Thanks,
I'm a
man.
90s baby.
In speaking of that genesis, and obviously doing something like this on the developer level is a massive undertaking, right? I think a lot of people hear Noob Movement, they assume we twisted some knobs and pulled some levers and, you know, got a couple of animations, but then it's in the bag. This was just a huge labor and, you know, moving mountains for the studios to get this done. What did you guys try and sort of keep readjusting and learning as you went, as you were sort of creating what Omni-Movement was and kind of where it was, you know, a year or 6 months ago, beyond that, and where it is today?
Yeah. So we tried a lot of stuff. It really always started with, we just wanted to really push on fluidity.
Mm-hmm.
Where we've always kind of been, one of our taglines in the past has been fast and fluid, and so that's no different with Black
Fast and fluid. You have it there, folks.
Ops 6, but we really wanted to make Black Ops 6 the most fluid game possible. And so that started with looking at existing mechanics. We knew we wanted to keep dive to prone. We knew we were going to keep slide. So really pushing on the fidelity and fluidity of those aspects. And then we started talking about new mechanics.
I'm really happy that we've kept both diving and sliding in Call of Duty games going forward. Like, only having sliding or only diving is such a bummer. I love that we have both now. It's so nice.
One specific one we tried was what we call the juke, or a sidestep, and that was kind of the origins of omnidirectional movement in Black Ops 6, where you could do this in any direction.
Bro was trying to implement the Advanced Warfare sidestep, but into a boots on ground game. Interesting.
It just wasn't hitting our goals of fluidity there. It just wasn't. It didn't work out. And on the gameplay side, to make something like a boots on the ground juke or very quick lateral movement feel great, you really had to kind of push it further, and then fighting against that was frustrating because you had enemies kind of quickly zipping and zagging out of your way. So,
bro, I don't know if you guys could hear me, but I opened a bag of gummy worms, and holy shit, I just pulled out one, and it's attached to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's attached to like 4 of them. I'll post a picture on the Discord. That is the funkiest looking gummy worm I've ever seen. I'll put it under Food Wars. That's crazy. Anyway, to continue. Sorry.
We went back to the drawing board, and I remember a very specific conversation I had with our studio head, Mark Gordon, where we were talking about this, and you know, what do we try next? And we really wanted to find that thing. And we started talking about Black Ops 3, and of course that was advanced movement and wall running, but you could boost in the air. Or
I'm surprised they didn't talk about Infinite Warfare or Advanced Warfare, games that literally had the sidestep movement. Synaptic had it. It was what was it called? Not propulsion. It was one of the traits, I believe. Dash maybe? I don't know. But you basically, while you were in the air, jumping or boosting, you pressed, I don't think it was on the ground though. I think you had to be in the air. You pressed L3, basically the sprint button sideways to do it. And it did like a nice little burst in one direction. It was nice. It was cool. Advanced Warfare, obviously, a lot more impactful than Infinite Warfare's version of it.
Or wall run and then jump off and turn around and slide backwards.
Speaking of Black Ops 3, you guys should definitely make a Black Ops 3 sequel that's actually a sequel. That would be fire.
But it wasn't built for that. So we kind of said, well, how would you think about Black Ops 3 movement, but in this boots on the ground action hero game we're making with Black Ops 6?
Well, actually, no, I would like Black Ops 3 movement in Black Ops 3. Dude, the people like Black Ops 3's movement because it's advanced movement. Sorry.
Long story short, it started with just the question of, well, what if you could sprint in any direction? Which is, could be kind of a small question to ask if you just like at first blush. But you've never been able to sprint any other direction than forward in Call of Duty. So foundationally, it became a kind of a really hard question that we asked ourselves. And then as we started thinking about it, and as you can see with Omni-Movement, well, if we kind of break that rule and then, okay, well, if I can sprint in any direction, what else can I do in any direction? And that kind of built upon it. And Yale Miller, we've talked about it a lot of, you keep coming up with these things. Well, okay, well, now I can slide in any direction and I can dive in any direction. And then, as you mentioned, it piles up, right?
Why not why not all the other things?
Yeah. So we essentially are allowing you to do all those other things with Omni Movement, and it really did start with being able to sprint in any direction. Like I said, as you mentioned, it does.
Just to quickly talk about what made Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare's movement feel so good, so damn buttery smooth, so satisfying. Every time I play Infinite Warfare, man, like when I play on that map called I think it was Frontier. It's the one in the space station. Everything's like white pretty much. Being able to jump on the walls, like just left and right and whatever, like that feels fucking sick, man. It feels like a ball bouncing around. But you can only do that with wall running. If this game doesn't have wall running, it's not gonna feel that same. Like you're not getting the exact same energy. And then BO3, what made that one also satisfying, just like the sound effects of you latching onto a wall and just boosting around, like, and the how your camera tilts around too. It just feels so good. And Infinite Warfare too, when you're boosting, it does like a little sort of like a visual blur around the side of your screen too. Like there's nothing that compares to that. We gotta go back, please. I want to go back to advanced movement, man.
It's created a lot of work for us.
Yeah.
And also, like in Infinite Warfare, like, chaining a slide to a hop into a wall to then jump off that wall, like that feels sick. Bring that back to like even boots on the ground, like that'd be sick too. Basically, what I'm asking is make Infinite Warfare's tactical mosh pit into an actual modern Call of Duty. That'd be sick. Tactical mosh pit in Infinite Warfare, it just removed the jetpack. Everything else was still in the game. Like you could still wall run. Even if they just brought back not even wall running, but just like jumping off a wall, that would be so cool to have in a boots on the ground game, like for action hero stuff. Like imagine being able to just like run and then double tap the jump button when you get close to a wall, so you do like a double the height jump, right? You were at 27. Damn it, I went for 3 more minutes without you guys. That sucks. Sorry. All right, if I edit this later, I'm just gonna snap back right here. Sorry, the stream went down. Restarting at 27, whatever.
And that kind of built upon it. And Yale Miller, we talked about it a lot of. You keep coming up with these.
I was talking about the advanced movement and how good it feels in Infinite Warfare. Hopefully it caught most of it, but basically what makes everything so satisfying in those games is, chaining stuff around. I don't even think it caught the I don't think the stream caught the part where I was talking about feeling like a ball, like a bouncy ball, but that part feels really sick too. And it'd be cool if in like let me just make sure the stream's good. Yeah, for bad internet. Thank you very much. But yeah, I think it would be really cool if modern Call of Duties sort of didn't have wall running but had Infinite Warfare sort of tactical mosh pit where they didn't have jetpacks but you still had like the capabilities of wall running and sliding and doing all this crazy stuff. But maybe in like a modern COD you don't allow wall running, you just allow like a double tap, sort of like with your X button, a double tap for the jump. So you could go up to a wall, hit X to jump, and then into the wall you'll press like X again, and you'll do like like almost double the height of a jump, and then you could like chain that into a dolphin dive of some sort and do 360s. Like that'd be cool too. That's kind of the ideal movement I'm looking for. But yeah, god damn, it sucks that the stream disconnected 3 minutes ago because I was still going, I was still talking. I was like, shit.
These things
hopefully it's just my phone that's messed
now
up.
I can slide in any direction and I can dive in any direction. And then, as you mentioned, it piles up, right?
Why not why not all the other things?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna zoom through this a little bit,
all
though.
those other things with Omni-Movement, and it really did start with being able to sprint in any direction. Like I said, as you mentioned, it's created a lot of work for us.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have had to. I think we talked about this just in the hallway or whatever, but somewhere in the thousands of animations and micro.
Yeah, it's a lot of animations
that you've had to build and capture out to structure this massive movement system change.
Yeah. I've tried to get the exact number of animations from the animation team. And I think
they're just like, here's a spreadsheet. Good luck.
I assume that they got thousands because there's a lot of in between animations, but I don't really know what they mean by that, to be 100% honest. And also, they go on here to talk about like how much they have there and whatnot, and it gives a lot of good sounding vibes. Like it sounds a lot like how Modern Warfare 2019 was made, and how they like drastically improved everything for that game compared to like the previous Call of Duties. Animations were just so damn good in Modern Warfare 2019, just chef's kiss. Mwah. So hopefully they're doing that again here. That'd be awesome.
So long, we have work to do.
Yeah.
Stephanie has questions.
Yeah, I want to know. I need to know.
It's definitely in the thousands. It wasn't just good
Thousands
enough
of
to
animations.
say, enable sprint in any direction, and there you go, right? Because we really want Black Ops 6 to be the most fluid game we've ever made and the highest fidelity game we've ever made. And a big part of that is our animations and what's the look that we're selling. So yeah, every single direction, whether you're standing, crouching, sliding, diving, the enhanced supine prone system ties into all
Supine
this.
prone.
Full 360 full degrees of.
I think you missed this also, but I was talking about this supine thing as well when I was like, yeah, do the double jump into a soup dive. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, he brought it up here again. Supine. That's the word.
Prone.
Yes.
Supine.
It's unreal.
It feels cool.
And then
It does.
I mean, in addition to the animations, there's a ton of tech that's went into making sure that all of those thousands of animations and all the crazy stuff that our players are going to pull off are playing nicely together.
As a player, I mean, I've played it myself, I've experienced it, I've felt it, it's cool. But from your perspective as a designer, like, how does this change the way I play Black Ops 6?
Well, I won't get into how I know.
This is another part I missed. You guys missed, but I will repeat myself once it comes up. It's like right around the corner here. It's so funny.
You playing, Miles.
You just got
you'll
called out.
You'll still be able to camp and post up at cover.
Dude, if this ever came out during Modern Warfare 2019, people would have been ripping it apart. Did you guys hear what he said?
You just got called out.
You'll still be able to camp and post up at cover.
You'll still be able to camp and post up the cover. Yeah. Oh, yes. Good old Modern Warfare 2019, where they, the devs unfortunately brought up the point where the maps had safe enough places for the new players to get in and gather their surroundings. And, you know, like, the maps are complicated in Modern Warfare 2019, but, like, not so complicated that noobs will have a hard time on them. That's basically what they were saying.
SFL Videos on YouTube says Black Ops 4 was pretty much you destroying another team or being destroyed by another team. Is the balanced matchmaking a priority for Modern Warfare?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the things we really want to do with this game is we want to get new players in the game, and we want them to kind of like, we don't want them to just get punched in the mouth over and over again until they leave. We want a healthy ecosystem. We want a lot of players in and having fun, and that's a big focus for us. It's a big focus for us in weapon design. It's a big focus for us in level design. Our weapons are a bit more lethal than they were in the Black Ops, recent Black Ops, and that helps a lower skill player get a kill when the other wouldn't, have some success, and then feel like now there's a desire to get better and to get another kill. Our maps are a little bit more porous, and we want those players to have a safe place to take their time to learn how to turn and move and then shoot, put those pieces together, and then they see someone and be like, oh, okay, now I can do this. So yeah, it's a big focus for us.
And people took that out of context and just started demonizing Infinity Ward and said that they were making the game for campers. Like, dude, if this was released back then, oh my god. But yeah, there's too much of like a cult like following for Treyarch that they won't even think of anything of this. Like they won't clip it out of context or anything like they did last time. Like this is obviously a joke.
Called out.
Obviously a joke.
Post up a cover.
I'm way more limber
Miles
these
is
days,
like,
man.
Cut.
Yeah, Matt, you definitely saw my
That's why Steph is saying cut.
streaming.
She knows.
I was a little static, I won't lie, but I'm a lot more limber now, man.
That's a word for it,
Yeah,
huh?
I'm a lot more loose. I'm limber, but that's why I feel this game is. I can do. I mean, being able to sprint in any direction is wild. I'm able to throw shoulders at new speeds.
I also bring this up before the stream cut out, but Rainbow Six Siege, if this also came out back then and they were talking about like this like the supine prone feature in Rainbow Six Siege, you can use like their supine prone to get under stuff. Like you could go under desks and whatnot. God, dude, if this came out during Modern Warfare 2019, people would be like saying, oh no, Modern Warfare 2019 is copying Rainbow Six Siege. Oh no, you're gonna be able to camp in like tiny little spaces and cupboards and whatnot. Like, yeah, I hate the fucking Modern Warfare 2019 haters, man.
I'm able to get out of trouble quickly.
But yeah, they're specifically Infinity Ward haters. They won't say that for this game, of course.
To get into trouble even faster. Like, it feels cool.
Yeah,
How would you? I'm going to go back to my question, Matt.
Redirect. Yeah.
So there's a few different answers and kind of paths I could take with that question. I think so. There's obviously the action hero opportunities of diving forwards through a window and rotating backwards and shooting the enemy as you dive away from an explosion, like those action hero movies.
Making your own highlight reel there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't forget theater mode.
And
oh, nice.
Shout out to theater
What a
mode,
pro.
which is coming back in Black Ops 6.
So there's that, right? You can absolutely pull off those kind of bombastic maneuvers, but you can also
theater mode, that's awesome too. This is kind of where the stream ended last stream, so after this I won't say it again, but everything else will be new for me. So theater mode, that's awesome for content creators. My buddy Replay Mode, he's another content creator that I keep in touch with a lot. He used to do a lot of machinima stuff, so like being able to zoom around the map in theater mode and that sort of stuff. For cinematic cutscenes and whatnot for his videos, that's coming back. So with theater mode, of course. So I'm just really happy for him. He's gonna be able to do like more with his content. And then that's also going to allow a lot of other creators to do more with their content as well. I might even mess around with it myself. We'll see. But that's good news to hear.
Pull off some really clever stuff that you couldn't do before, right? If I know an enemy is around a doorway, I can sprint sideways into a side sprint while I'm ADS.
Oh yeah, and then this feature too. Like they're talking about, if you guys watch the trailer, there's like you can kind of lean now in the game, but it's dependent on your analog stick. I'm not sure how it's going to work on PC, but on controller, if you move your analog stick a little bit, you'll lean. If you move it a lot, you'll just stay normal, like normally stood up. And this is kind of a feature also from Call of Duty Ghosts, because in that game, it had a leaning feature. It wasn't a mounting like Modern Warfare 2019's, but it's leaning. You just had to like go near an edge, and your character would lean around it. Around it if you ADS'd into it. In this game, it just seems like leaning is kind of just built into strafing. It's kind of cool though. I like it.
Yes, and try to take them out. So
Rainbow
there's
Six
kind of
Siege-esque.
more micro engagement opportunities there.
And that's a good call out for corner slicing too.
And they call it corner slicing instead of leaning. Pretty cool name.
And yeah, so corner slicing, if you're rounding a corner or going around a doorway, your weapon and view model will kind of dynamically rotate depending on your speed and entry angle.
Yeah, F's in the chat.
It's a really cool feature that we're stoked about. And then on the movement, how
We're
does
back,
it change how
though.
you
We're
play?
back.
I just mentioned the kind of actual movement opportunities, but you're not forced to do that, right? Like I said, from day one, it really started with, we want to make this the most fluid game possible. So if you're just sprinting forward and mantling over cover and, you know, doing the things that you've done in the past Call of Duty games, that's going to feel amazing and that's going to feel super fluid.
Oh, yeah.
If you do, I'm not saying this is you, Miles, but if you do just want to post up and cover, right? We wanted to make sure that it wasn't super frustrating to fight against those players who are living out their action hero fantasies. You can still be successful playing the way you've played before. But the hope is you see some people pulling some crazy stuff off and you're like, oh, that was cool.
I
I'm
can
gonna go
do
try
that too. Yeah, exactly.
It just sounds like, yeah, we've got more, as a player, from the player's perspective, I've got a lot more choice.
Yeah, I think you just kind of need to teach new players that, right? Like, you don't have to kind of handhold the players in multiplayer. Like, put them into a training sort of thing, like Free Run from Black Ops 3, or the Get High sort of parkour game mode in Modern Warfare 3 this year. Put players into that and teach them how to do these mechanics. Like, put them on a course. Say, do a 180 dive and try to hit a target. Like, that'd be really cool. And you could have, like, challenges tied to that.
Yes.
That's what it sort of feels like. Whereas, you know, it was one thing to be able to move like in the way we do in MW3 is great, it's really fast. But now being able to do that in any direction.
We actually had some players come out early on to test this out. And one thing I remember them saying is that, like, you really do have to kind of, especially at these players' levels who are competitive players, it's an opportunity to, you got to kind of rethink how you approach the game if you're really trying to pull off some really clever stuff.
And hopefully they have some, like, map design philosophy around it too. I noticed for the abandoned train carts, they had, like, in the Black Ops 6 reveal trailer, they had a player that did the subtaneous, whatever the soup dive is, into the train cart, and they shot a player behind them, like just how I described as the free run or training mechanic that I was talking about. But yeah, they do this subtaneous, whatever the fuck it was called, dive, and they shoot someone behind them. But, like, stuff like that is cinematic only. Like, you're not going to see that happen in an actual multiplayer online experience. Someone who's chasing you on top of the train carts, they're going to shoot you unless they have a knife. It's just like 9 times out of 10, they're going to shoot you. So that's why I hope the maps are actually designed around it, because that one little square roof in a train cart is just... It's you're never gonna have that moment in an actual match, is what I'm saying. So hopefully they've actually put in some time and effort into making these maps friendly enough for this movement to actually, like, benefit it. But yeah, let's continue here.
I remember they were playing against some of us, the developers, and we were holding our own because we had been playing around with it for about a year.
Yo.
And
Developers
I think when
rise
they saw, one of our designers, I think he specifically jumped off a piece of cover, landed in a slide while ADS, and just smoked somebody. They were like, "Oh, okay, he's on a different level." So, yeah, we've been very conscious of making sure that we're not widening the skill gap too much. And like I said, if you just want to slow down, you can, and you can still be successful. You just may not look as cool.
Yeah.
Again, if this was Modern Warfare 2019, they're closing the skill gap. They don't want a skill gap. They want bad players to be good at the game.
And that's fine.
That's fine.
It is fine.
Too.
It really is.
It's definitely a balance for players of all skill levels. Like, I'll say that too. Certainly internally, when we all play test the game, there are people here who will cook you, like CDL adjacent level folks on the team that will absolutely smoke you, and you will be embarrassed. Yeah, like, just disastrous. I've definitely never been destroyed by any of them at all. Matt has certainly never used me as a body shield in any of the play tests. Yeah, he would never do that to me.
No, because Steph holds her ground.
We also have folks that are definitely not that, play the game.
Use her as a body shield. She doesn't even, like, take any damage. She isn't a shield. She is the gunner of the gunfights.
Maybe sort of.
She's taking out opponents in one shot. We playing hardcore, and she's a fast reactor. I don't know.
Like,
Sorry.
just getting started on Call of Duty, And
just
internally, those
yapping at this
playtests
point.
are always competitive. They're very fun, and I think are representative of the fact that Omni-Movement is not just for the chefs in the kitchen. It's for everybody,
Let's go.
even people like me. I'm probably somewhere in the middle, and I'm still, you know,
It looks
figuring
fun.
out,
It looks
but
fun.
That's really cool.
I've seen you pull some moves off.
Yeah, come beta. You guys are in trouble.
Whoa, no, it's cool. I mean, I feel like, Matt, we've almost gotten used to the way Call of Duty should look and feel and play.
I don't think Steph has gone into when she got into COD. Like Matt and what was this guy's name? Oh no, I forget his name. Mac and this guy with the cool hair. They said they both got into Call of Duty during COD 2, I think, which is like before COD 4 Modern Warfare, which is like where COD really started getting big in multiplayer. But yeah, these guys got in way before. I don't know about Steph.
And I feel like Omni-Movement in a really
But I'd like to know.
genuine way.
Anyway,
is,
sorry.
And I feel like Omni-Movement in a really genuine way.
He was saying how we know what Call of Duty is supposed to be like,
No, it's cool. I
but
mean, I feel like, Matt, we've almost gotten used to the way Call of Duty should look and feel and play. And I feel like Omni-Movement in a really genuine way is going to change the game
future.
in a cool way.
It's a huge
and not
step
in
forward.
like a sort
Yeah.
of, not in a really corny or cheesy or over the top way, but something that just enhances the already super solid Call of Duty experience, which is very cool.
yeah.
That's great to hear.
awesome.
Yeah, it was never about let's find a gimmick to add in to another back of the box feature. It was never about let's make the game faster. It really was, how do we push on fluidity and provide those opportunities?
How do we
Like
innovate?
90s kids with skateboards or rollerblades or something, and that's what's the new. That's a Black Ops op right now. Hell no, this is great. I'm excited. I'm excited. You said the B word.
I did say the B word, but I'm not ready to say it again yet. One thing I would like to say is that I think there's a couple of things that I would love to clear up with you, because we've got you here. We want to ask you the questions, get it straight from the source. And one of those things is, can you toggle Omni-Movement on and off? Can you turn Omni-Movement on? The answer is no. Omni-Movement is a core foundational mechanic of the game. You cannot turn it off. But I think where people maybe got that impression was we have another...
Who cares? I don't understand. Like, is this something that people are actually talking about? Why would you want to turn it off? It's literally optional. You can optionally do it or not do it. Just don't fucking turn your stick to the right and sprint. Don't turn your stick backwards and sprint. Like, what are you... Do people want a propeller blade across the map while they're diving still? Like, huh? And prone, like, you want to be prone blocked again? Like, I don't think so.
Their new feature, part of
Supine prone is awesome.
movement that's called intelligent movement. You spoke to this in the direct.
Sorry, let me rewind that. What about intelligent movement?
Not turn it off. But I think where people maybe got that impression was we have another new feature, part of movement, that's called intelligent movement.
Oh, the automated movement. This shit's garbage. Don't use it, guys. Please have some self-respect. You do not want to be someone who plays Sonic Forces in Call of Duty. Automation's garbage. Don't be lazy.
You spoke to this in the direct a little bit, so I'd love for you just to touch on that. You know,
Yeah, this is the one where you can, like, the game will slide for you through something, or it'll jump for you.
a little bit deeper, and the purpose of intelligent movement. I know you said too, like,
It's really weird.
Mantling, chaining those maneuvers together. Intelligent movement presents an awesome opportunity that I think players of all levels have. It's something that's really exciting for us.
Yeah.
Of all levels? What? Okay.
So like you said,
Sure.
Omni-Movement is a core foundational feature that cannot be disabled by a player. It's across the entire game, campaign, multiplayer, and zombies.
Duh.
Yep.
But with intelligent movement, those are a suite of player settings that can be turned on or off. By default, they'll be off for everyone. I think
Good.
we'll probably have, in your first time flow, we'll present those and ask if you want to turn them on. And those are at a super high level. It's 3 settings with some little tunables in each setting. That the goal really is to reduce button presses or key presses, right?
Yeah, it's the
what we're working
automation.
in.
Yep.
And that was important to us as we started working through our movement initiatives and Omni-Movement.
Blah, 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 blah.
That said, we haven't actually added a button press, right? Because it's still, at its core, it always starts with sprinting. Those are the things that you can turn on and off, and players will be familiar with something like an auto sprint or an auto mantle. So it's kind of like that, but it's built from the ground up specifically for an Omni-Movement.
Auto
It's a bit
sprint.
more intentional.
And customizable a little bit to that degree too.
Inferior.
Yeah. So, like an example of the customizable aspect of it is with sprint assist, which is the sprint aspect of intelligent movement. By default, we're still playing around with our default values, but by default right now, it'll
sprint
have
assist?
0 delay.
How's that
so
different
when you push
from
your stick
auto
forward,
sprint?
you'll start sprinting.
It's
but we
literally
have
auto sprint.
A setting in there
Stop changing the names of stuff, man. Just call it the same thing across every Call of Duty title.
that lets you add a little bit of time. So for that, as we play tested, some people want to, a very specific example is if I'm at a piece of cover and I have mantle assist on and sprint assist on, if I push my stick forward, it's just going to automatically mantle.
Yeah.
So with the setting, you can add a, say, 1 second delay where I can push my stick forward before that sprint assist kicks in. So I can kind of nudge up to a piece of cover without mantling over. So yeah, we want to make sure that we're giving enough player settings there.
Okay, so something that I really do hope they do, this has been a, not even a nitpick, like this is just such a flippin' annoying thing that I've run into in so many Call of Duty games, especially recently. I'll be in the middle of a gunfight. I will be ADSing and I will hit the jump button so that I can, like, you know, bunny hop in the middle of a gunfight to outmaneuver my opponent. And the game will see me right beside some sort of cover, and it will be like, yo, we know you're ADSing, but we're gonna force you to un-ADS and climb on that thing just because you hit the jump button and are moving sideways to strafe. It is the most annoying shit ever. Please allow us the ability to, when we are ADSing, we cannot mantle. ADS should cancel the mantle. Please. I pray to the COD gods, make that a feature.
Where players can kind of dial in their own experience, because it's like, you know, like I said in the showcase,
because like the stuff he's talking about, like, that's cool and whatnot, but this is the stuff that matters, man.
I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all approach, and
Right.
I'm sure some players will want to have none on, some players will want to have some on, and that's what we've seen in our user testing and internally.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Because my biggest concern initially was like, oh, am I going to get to a piece of cover and immediately fly over it and get myself killed? I hope not, but that's not.
Yeah, that's how I always get
I
myself
think
killed, though.
the coolest thing about cover to me, and this is something
Stupid mantle.
just in speaking from experience, and I've heard you talk about this, Matt, like the relationship between the player interacting with the world and the world interacting with the player, and finding the right place in between those things of, like, if I slide and I'm headed for, you know, a wall, like a low wall in cover, I'm actually going to bump up against that and take cover, not just hit it and bounce off it or go over it.
Yeah.
Same thing with, like, certain materials like glass, like you interact, you know, a wall, like a low wall, the player interacting with the world and the world interacting with the player, and finding the right place in between those things of, like, if I slide and I'm headed for, you know, a wall, like a low wall in cover, I'm actually going to bump up against that and take cover, not just hit it and bounce off it or go over it. Same.
Wait, so is there different crouch heights? Is that what they're saying? Because, like, there's head glitches in Call of Duty, right? But are they talking about, like, you can actually, like, slide into, like Nathan Drake style, where if you go near cover, your character actually, like, crouches to a point that they are 100% hidden behind the cover, like you're in a taking cover position or state or animation? Because that's kind of neat.
Thing with, like, certain materials like glass, like, you interact with those things differently as a player, whether you dive through them, you know, whether you're diving into water, all of those things. And so I think people are going to have a lot of fun with it, and can definitely just say, again, like, the best way to understand it is to feel it. And so definitely be looking out for some beta news soon.
My God. I'm just thinking about, like, diving out of helicopters, like
You
all
said
the
action
various
hero
vehicles.
And Miles is, like,
I'm on top of a truck, and I'm like, yeah, I'm diving over mines, and I'm just double akimbo, you know.
Yeah, basically, the action movie hero experience. Soap basically falling out of the... I think it was Soap, right? Or maybe it was Gaz. Yeah, I think it was Gaz, actually. Yeah, Gaz falling out of Nikolai's chopper in the MW2 campaign, only held up by a rope, using his pistol to shoot people while upside down, almost getting becoming some pancake on the highway of hell.
Oh, come on! This is what it's all about.
Yeah, come on.
I can see the trailer already.
Yes, exactly. To a killer soundtrack every year without fail, by the way. Congrats whoever's putting those together.
Yeah, a lot of Firestarter stands around
It's the
all of a
90s,
sudden.
it's the 90s feeling again. It's
It really
Prodigy.
is.
It was so good. Oh, my God.
It's a little early for us to talk about multiplayer. I just talked about Next. Next, obviously, our massive multiplayer reveal event. We'll hope to see you there. It's going to be
Yep.
awesome. But in the meantime, I think there's a couple of
Awesome.
things.
Awesome.
We had some creators and press in-house at Treyarch, a couple
Get my boy War
a
Waffle
little
Waffles
while
in there
ago
right now.
And so we've seen them, post some things. So this is the, you might have seen some tweets section of the show. You might have seen some news out there. And again, this is the first time that we're talking about it. We have you here captive for at least another 4 minutes. So this is our one shot, Miles. We have to ask.
I have a huge list.
Lightning round.
Miles is his
Yeah,
name.
lightning round.
Ah.
Okay. First one.
Lightning round.
Traditional score streaks are back. Thrilled. Super
True.
excited.
Whoa, traditional score streaks? Yo. Okay, yo. If traditional score streaks are back and there's no toggle for kill streaks, this is the best score streak system that Call of Duty's ever had. Call of Duty's already had it in the past. I'm not saying it's new. I'm just saying this is the best system that exists in Call of Duty. Because, Modern Warfare 2 and 3 last year and the year before, this year and the last year before that, these two games have score streaks, but the thing is, they don't loop and they have kill streak toggles, meaning when there's kill streak toggles, you have to choose between a streak or a different streak. So if I want a UAV or a counter UAV or a care package, I cannot have those three because for kill streak values, they are valued at different amounts or the same amount of kills. They're all at, I think, 3 kills or 4 kills. So I have to choose one out of those 3 streaks for that kill amount. But with actually good score streaks by default, everything is at a different score, meaning I don't have to pick and choose between streaks to run. I can run the care package, counter UAV, and UAV in my one streak loadout. But when kill streaks are there, you just can't do that. That's basically what I'm saying. So yeah, if they're going that route, fuck yes, I am so hyped. That is such a good feature, or not feature, just such a good system. I think I've heard this online though, I saw it on Twitter. They are going to talk about how the streaks don't loop, and that is ass. Shitty design decision. Fuck you, whoever thought that was a good idea.
Would
Sorry.
love for you to just
Sorry,
take
not sorry.
us, behind the scenes a little bit on the philosophy there.
Sure. So, signature Black Ops, score streaks, that's the thing, right? Since Black
God, I hope they're not score streaks from Black Ops 2. Please don't say Black Ops 2.
Ops 2.
Fuck.
We like score streaks because it rewards all players.
You should have said Black Ops 3, man. Yeah, so the reason I say flip to that is because the streaks in Black Ops 2, they included specialist weapons in them. So yeah, we're gonna have the battery and the hand cannon back. They're just overpowered as fuck.
Fairly, regardless if you're slaying or you're capturing a
And they're also held by a player, which means that they don't appear on the minimap, and you can't see them with the spotter perk or whatever perk it is that usually allows you to see streaks through walls and find them faster. So yeah, they're just very overpowered score streaks.
Objectives, or you're taking out enemy score streaks. That's why we like score streaks. In Cold War, we tried a bit of a different approach.
I don't think Cold Wars was as bad as people say it was. Cold Wars, they looped, and that's the best feature for streaks at this point. Fuck. Streaks should loop, man. Even if they're kill streaks, I don't care. Just looping should be number 1 priority, and then score streaks should be number 2, score-based streaks. Fuck kill streaks. Just give me looping score streaks, man. The thing is, with looping streaks, why they're so sought after and why they're so good is because they're the crutch way to get a nuke in the game. If you can only earn a UAV once per life and you use it when you get it, you're gonna be sitting at 12 kills 13 kills, and you're not going to have another UAV in your pocket. You're just going to be underpowered on your way to the 25 to 30 kill streak. Literally day one that MW3 added back looping streaks, because actually, yeah, MW3 did add back the looping feature when the map Paris was added to the game. Literally, first match I was on, or second match, I think it might have been second, but whatever it was, pretty much my first match. I got the nuke in the game. It was what's it called? The chem strike? No, it was like a DNA bomb. Yeah. I got it on Paris. It was so fun. It was so good. I got all my streaks twice. Goddamn. Please bring it back.
Where we didn't reset score on death which was a big change.
Oh yeah, so he's talking about the Cold War one. Cold War score streaks. Those ones also looped. Super awesome. It allows players to stay on their lives longer, and it rewards being on a streak. When streaks don't loop, it just feels so damn unrewarding, man. That's why in also Modern Warfare 2019, I ran Specialist bonus instead of kill streaks, because that game only had kill streaks, and they didn't loop in that game either. Fucking awful. But Specialist bonus is better, of course, because, well, when you earn perks for getting kills, you keep those perks permanently until you die. So it's kind of like if I were to get a UAV and that UAV just doesn't go away until I die, but that's not how the UAV works. The UAV lasts like 1 minute, and then I can't get it again because the streaks don't loop. Like, it's dog shit. It's poopy.
Change, and the goal there was to just get more people engaging with the system. As we kind of went back and thought about really what we wanted to do.
Yeah, the thing that people didn't like about Cold Wars was that they didn't think that the risk factor was there because the streaks don't reset. Their goal with the Cold War streak system was to get noobs their streaks, like guarantee them pretty much, but because they don't reset, the way the Cold War streaks do still have like a, what do you call it? There's a way to earn streaks. Like, you can't just keep getting one kill, dying, and like you won't get your top streaks that way. You actually do have to go on an actual streak so that your score multiplier goes up, because that game has a score multiplier. So if I got like 3 kills, it keeps going up by like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Get like 5 kills, 1.5 multiplier. Like, it just keeps going up and up and up. So if you get like a large kill streak and you're like 1 off, this is like the best part about the system. Like, if you're like 1 kill off and you die, well, you just need like 2 kills in your next life and you get your next streak, because the score that you've collected doesn't reset. It wasn't a bad system though. I didn't mind it at all. And yeah, there was a cooldown timer there too, but I really didn't find it that bad either, because it's like, I'm pretty sure with streaks in other games, like if you had like a sentry turret and you earned a second sentry turret and you tried placing them both down, I'm pretty sure like only one is available to be on the map at once. So it's gonna say like air streak crowded or ground streaks crowded, so you can't place it anyway. So yeah, the timer is really not that bad. Your score's still gonna go up, and I'm pretty sure if it reaches the timer, it just stays there. Like, it doesn't keep going above. Like, it'll wait for the timer to cool down and then you'll get it immediately after.
With Black Ops 6.
The best part was that it looped. So it was good.
Accounting for player feedback.
It rewarded you in your life. I really could give less of a shit about being on that like adrenaline rush that I'm 1 off a streak, you know?
We're going back to just a traditional score streak system. Score will reset on death. Right now, score streaks do not loop.
Yeah, he just confirmed it. They don't loop right now. Dog ass decision. Please change that.
That was something we've talked about quite a bit, and really the goal there is we want to reward players in a single life fairly.
Well, guess what? There's skill-based matchmaking. We already have fair combat. Like, you don't need to keep nerfing people. So let's hear what he has to say.
There is we want to reward players in a single life fairly with high-end rewards or low-end, depending on your selection.
In a single life. You know what? If you want to do this, man, maybe instead of giving people 3 streaks, you should give us like 5. So when we choose our streaks, we might choose 3 low ones, and then we might choose 2 really high streaks. That could work. That might be fun.
but we really want to avoid score streak spam. That's something I personally just really don't like. I know.
Okay, so about that, I hate score streak spam as well. But here's the thing. You just nerf the streaks. Don't make them so goddamn annoying that you cannot play the game. That's a problem with Black Ops games. I know a lot of people praise Black Ops games for having overpowered streaks, but it's such a dog shit thing to have. I'm sorry, but the game's just not fun on the enemy team when overpowered stuff is getting called in on you, like Black Ops 4 Sniper Nest. Ugh. Wraps are kind of fun because the be it Black Ops 3's wraps, like you could just jump over them, you could like wall run to counter them, but they were like scary. Dogs, they are kind of ass to counter in Vanguard. They need to give like a lot of these things just counters. They like skillful counters. That's what makes like games like Rainbow Six Siege so fun, because you know how to counter everything in that game. There's so many ops and like so much stuff to learn, but that's also part of the fun process. Like, we need to normalize adapting in Call of Duty. We need to normalize learning new skills, because the Call of Duty community is so, like, I'm sorry, stupid, to the point where when Modern Warfare 2019 added a compass, they said, oh, there's no red dots on the minimap anymore. You can't tell where anyone is. Use the compass. Try it. It's actually a fucking feature in the game and it works. I'm sorry, but it does. I know the minimap's not here. I know it's a staple feature, but if you keep yelling it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just play older Call of Duty games. Like, I'm sorry. The older Call of Duty games aren't broke, so stop playing the new ones. How about that? How about dem apples?
A lot of players don't
like, some of us want to see advancements, some of us want to see innovations. If you don't, then don't play the new stuff. We got omnidirectional movement this year. If you're one of the people that are apparently asking for it to be disabled, literally don't play. Go play MW3 instead.
Don't like it. I know if you're a really good player, you just want to keep calling them in.
Rant over.
And so I get it. But we're erring on the side of less score streak spam for now. But like we said,
just nerf the streaks so that they're balanced, bro. Like, Infinite Warfare's were just so peak. I loved how Infinite Warfare streaks were balanced. Like, they felt good. If you're a good player, you knew how to like avoid them because of all the buildings and structures in that game. Like, you could see a warden in the sky and you're like, oh yeah, I'll just use the angle of exposure to my advantage. I'll just stay out of its line of sight. It was that easy.
A couple times we have beta and we'll take all.
And it wasn't so deadly that it was hunting you like the fucking sniper's nest in Black Ops 4. Fuck that thing. That thing was so overpowered. It would shoot you in one shot as well because they're snipers.
Feedback and go.
Another thing that we've seen
and there's like a carpet bombing run in some Call of Duty games. That's annoying too.
I love and I cannot wait to try and master is the dedicated melee weapon, which is so cool. So you want to have
we're getting these back from Modern Warfare Remastered?
And bring a knife to a gunfight, so to speak. Now you can, literally always.
Never
it's always
leave home.
there.
Yo.
Yep.
A dedicated melee weapon.
Do you hold triangle for it?
Yeah, I mean that's really how it started. Is if we think about Black Ops agents, like if you just think about who they are, they're always going to have a melee weapon on them. It may not be a knife. Sometimes
we went from like the worst part of this we went from the worst thing in this COD pod to the best thing.
It's a baseball bat. I don't know. That's where it came from. Of let's try this.
Oh, well, I thought you were gonna say it came from MWR, but I guess they're just gonna steal someone else's glory and call it their own. Okay, sure.
We're excited about it, and we just like the idea of not having to give up a secondary to take a melee weapon. So every player will have
literally
access to
Modern Warfare Remastered,
and you'll have a few to choose from at launch, and then we'll have some fun stuff in store.
Yeah, MWR had a ton. It was so cool. My favorite being the broken bottle, the broken glass bottle. There was also other stuff in that game. I don't think there was a sword. Like, they were pretty realistic for the most part. You didn't have anything funny like a left hand, like in Black Ops 3 for a melee weapon. That wasn't in MWR, but I think they had some funky stuff too. Like, it wasn't ultra silly, but some of it was a little bit outlandish. It wasn't like so colorful or anything, but like I'm pretty sure there was like some sort of like voodoo horror sort of club thing with like a skull on it that you could have in MWR, but it was like only one. The silly stuff was such a small fraction. It wasn't that bad.
Throughout the live seasons.
But I think a baseball bat might have been one of them too, and then there's a whole bunch of different knives and yeah.
But I mean, that's also another one. We didn't just throw in everybody gets a melee weapon. We've taken a look at tuning. We've got some kind of unique approaches to tuning because we also don't want everybody running around with melee weapons and being annoying little nuisances.
Yeah, of course.
So,
of course. Thank you.
Have more details to share. You'll experience in the beta.
Those are some of the most annoying players,
balance,
to be honest.
We'll be
so that's good to hear.
Beta, and we'll look to
Yep.
make those changes as needed.
Fine-tuned fun, I think is I'm excited about. But
I hope that we have first-person animations for like our assassinations with the melee weapons. Oh, dude, they've been kind of doing the experimentations with that with like MW3 this year, like where you have the I don't know what it was called, but it's like a sort of like a chainsaw melee weapon in MW3, and like when you hit someone with it, you kind of lock on into an animation, and like the chainsaw like goes on their neck and it starts going, and then it cuts them off. Like it takes like a second or two. Like that shit is really cool. I really want to see first-person assassinations in COD. I'm so sick of the third-person ones. They are so clunky. They take so long. You die like half the time. It's just not satisfying. I really want the first-person ones. It reminds me of Doom in just like that sort of fluidity and badassery. Please do that.
I'm stoked for dedicated melee. I suppose.
Dedicated melee is
I heard
awesome.
Baseball bat mentioned there. I heard.
There's
stuff.
one.
Thank you.
Right there.
So
For those
just
listening.
felt-
For those
Hey, yo, baseball
listening,
bat?
right there.
Matt, it's time. I've had enough.
Yes?
Let's talk about it because I am so happy to officially announce that early access to the Black Ops 6 multiplayer beta will start on August 30th. And
Wait, it's it's July, August. It's another month and
run
10
until
days.
September 4th
9 days?
across all platforms. Early access is available to anybody.
And then the open beta is right after that. So I assume that's like 5 days apart, unless there's an August 31st. I don't know if there is or not. And then the 6th to the 9th is another 4 days, I think. 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, it disappears on the 9th, so probably like 3.5 days, maybe 4. No, this one's like 4.5. This one's 3.5 down there.
Anybody who pre-orders the game or subscribes
Don't pre-order.
to select
Don't do
Game Pass
that.
plans.
Bad idea.
Weekend 2 kicks off open
I have a video
access
on it coming out.
all
I'm
platforms
sorry,
from
it's not done
September
yet.
6th to September.
I'll probably upload the podcast tomorrow, and then I'll get the video out like right after. I'm so sorry that it's not out yet. I said it would be out last weekend, and I've been trying to work on it this week, but God, I haven't been sick, man, and it's so hard to do stuff when you're sick. I'm sorry.
September 9th. And that, of course, is
I hope you enjoy it. It's 50 minutes long, so
open to everyone.
yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Bring your friends, bring your neighbors,
I put a lot of work in it.
bring their pets.
Can
It's a
we
good time.
party up? The three of us?
Actually, yes.
Do you
Yep.
do you really?
Hey,
This is
the four of us.
graceful
Maybe we can talk
addition to the
offline.
show.
Yeah, we'll
Miles is-
sidebar.
Yeah, just I mean,
I've got professional players who are friends. I'll be playing with them. Thanks.
I'll be ready to take
play,
you
fair
on.
play.
Yeah. But yes, I will be ready. I've already just like quietly winked that my favorite map is in fact in the beta.
Mine too.
What's it called?
I think.
So
Find
they're
out.
not the same map either, which is
No,
cool.
which is
Fun,
really
What's it
fun
called?
fact.
But all the maps are pretty fun. I played so far. Played
Yeah.
like 4 of them. 3
What a
or 4 of them.
nothing burger
The beta
comment.
maps
I'm a fan.
are rad. The launch maps.
Tell
of
me
which we
something,
have
man.
How many?
Tell me something
16?
about it,
Damn.
Steph.
Are pretty kick-ass.
16 brand new launch
16.
maps.
Blech, blech.
That sounds exhausting
12.
work.
It's 12.
As a non-gamer,
Actually,
that's just a game. I'm
12.
like, that's a lot of work.
Well, that's why we have to let Matt get back to work. So, Matt, thank you for joining us.
All right, yeah, back to work.
We'll see you at Call of Duty next for our
Bye-bye.
multiplayer reveal, and then we'll see you in the beta starting on August 30th and running throughout those 2 weekends into September 9th. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
we've got more to talk about than just
Thanks, Matt.
just what's
Bye,
coming
Matt.
up with the new game.
That's right. The new game
Wait,
is one
there's
thing,
more?
but there is still the current
Ooh.
game, MW3. We're still rocking and rolling
All right, 4
with
more minutes.
Season 5.
Yeah.
Oh god, that game's still going. I'm sorry. Okay, so MW3 Season 5, I have seen that what's the map called? Bait. I'm pretty sure it was Bait. Looks like a Days of Summer map. I'm actually kind of excited for it, just because it fits the theme of the year that it is here where I live in Canada. It's summertime, it's fucking hot, it's sweaty, mom's spaghetti, nice and wetty. But yeah, it's really cool that we're getting like a summertime map on the docks, on a beach, or whatever it is. Like a bait shop for your fishing rods. Like, that's awesome.
Okay, so Season 5 and MW3,
I'm happy.
We've been having a lot of fun. I think Sledgehammer's done an awesome job with these sort of variants of these maps. So if you remember
Fuck the variants. Those are dog shit. Get out of here, Steph.
back in
I'm
Season
taking
1
over.
and kind of throughout the live seasons, we've done sort of like different takes and twists. So we had like
Biased,
infected,
paid, shill.
the infected version.
Literally though, these guys are paid by the Call of Duty franchise to do this. That's the ironic part. That's the funny part.
Of Rust that was
They
called
can't
Tetanus,
criticize it.
you know, and so we're bringing cell shading variants of these,
Disgusting.
which feels absolutely bananas for me to say.
It's going to be wild. 'Cause
Anti-COD bull squat. It's ruined Fortnite, and now they're ruining it with COD. I hate cel-shaded stuff with a passion at this point.
I loved
And-
the Skid Row variant, Overgrown.
Overgrowth.
I
Yeah, or
loved
Overgrown.
that because it just made the map so much more
Bro said overgrown. She corrected him. Overgrowth.
beautiful. You know, Skid Row.
Something you know and love, but just would like kind of feeling
Yeah, like where'd it go, guys? Huh? If it was so good, why is it gone?
different setting and
Yeah.
kind of getting into that,
It's a
that
fresh
world
lick
a
of
little
paint
bit.
on something that you've run for me hundreds and hundreds of hours around. But I'm super
Yeah.
excited. We have 3 of those. Can we name them? I have the information here.
Yeah, so Rust, I believe, is called Tunoxide.
Just for the folks
Talk about bait.
who
wild.
haven't grasped this, we're talking a completely 110%
just gonna-
cell-shaded Rust. Like for all the ground, everything, it's gonna look crazy.
It looks like
A
ass.
lot of fun, but I think we've seen the community kind of like rally around some of these really funky designs that have been out. Like I was
No. The community has been rallying against them.
stunned to see the response
Steph,
to Get Hot.
you're not reading the right
The
comments.
Loved it.
platforming mode, and like we've just seen so many people, you know, say they reach out and say they loved it, and
Yeah.
I'd love to know to hear if you're listening what you guys think of this. Definitely post or ask us questions about it. We might be able to answer in the next episode of.
I don't like it,
podcast.
Steph.
Use hashtag
I don't.
PodPod.
If you have any cool ideas for things to go in the game, send them my way. I'll give them to the folks, and I'll claim credit.
Yeah, just send them to Miles though.
I'll totally claim credit. I'll do that. I've got absolutely no shame. Stash House and Shipment are also gonna get.
Yeah,
a
Stash House
cell-shaded
is
maker.
Blech.
called Ink House.
Yeah.
And I believe that Shipment is called Cell Ship.
But that again, like the idea, this is not a huge amount of there are so much texture in this game, like you just eliminate all that and make it
Incel.
one sort of blocky color. It's gonna look wild.
Sorry, wrong name.
And
Wrong
obviously
name.
There's a lot of other new content. We're just picking those out to call out.
Cell
now,
Ship.
but make sure you check out the
Incel.
official Call of Duty blog
Oh, sorry.
to see what else is coming in Season 5. The patch notes, which will be filled with balance changes, updates, tuning, new content, you know, bug fixes, all of those things will come out on launch day. So make sure you're following at COD Updates on X,
Mm-hmm.
formerly known as Twitter.
Still weird.
Still
That's
weird.
fine.
Not
Change
weird,
is totally
but
cool.
yeah.
We have another. I mean, it's coming eventually, but the zombies finale of the MWZ story.
Oh my goodness, Operation Deadbolt. We're almost there. I have loved playing MWZ. And
Oh,
so,
yeah,
the story is
zombies is
looking
still
to, get to the climax. So we'll see what's
hanging around,
and then
I
I think you
guess.
have something exciting coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Kind
I'm
of.
so I don't like a fool on the internet.
On
I
its
had a
last
question.
breath.
Sometimes you get things right, sometimes you get things wrong. But the 18th of July, COD Champs, really excited for that. Obviously, the end of the CDL season, the MW3 season, which has been nuts. So if you don't know what this is, the Call of Duty League is essentially professional Call of Duty players, the finest teams in the world
Best
going
of the best.
literally the best of the best, going at each other for large
God,
sums of money,
League.
glorious prestige, and bragging rights because there's a lot of trash talk. And the way we designed the stage this year, they'll be very close to one another, and it's going to get spicy. It's gonna get real
Oh,
spicy.
I
That's taking place in
can't
Dallas.
wait. Live from Dallas.
Live from
in
Dallas.
3 days. 3 days from now.
Yeah.
Tune in
Very excited.
to CDL Champs. I can't wait, and you know, there's usually some good drops.
There's always drops. Make sure to link your Activision account
There's
to
always
for exclusive drops you can only get from watching the Call of Duty streams.
Yeah, dude, those drops don't even work on my account. I don't know why. Like, I've watched Twitch and YouTube for these drops. I've had my accounts linked. They're enabled. I just don't get them in game. Like, it just doesn't transfer. I don't know why.
The loot.
It's so much good.
Yeah, make sure you tune into Champs and thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, listening, watching, wherever you are, as part of COD Pod. Thank you for being here for the Call of Duty
COD
content.
Pod,
Hopefully you all
yay.
have enjoyed this.
Thank you guys for being
kind
here
of
for the-
look behind the scenes, and
More
let us know what you.
Thank you guys
what
for
you
being
would
here
like
for the
to
Noob
see.
Tour
And
podcast
you know,
episode
we'll
1.
be talking more about Black Ops 6. We'll be talking about Call of
I'll be talking more about Black Ops 6, Modern Warfare 3, MW2 probably,
Duty next,
Infinite Warfare here and there, just because it's my favorite game in the COD franchise.
Beta,
Days of Summer,
Warzone, and
maybe some
hopefully
eras
into the live
We'll
season.
see. We'll see what my next videos are about.
Saying anything and everything to do with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You'll probably find it here.
Yep.
And you'll find it here too.
Something.
Yeah.
Let me
Hashtag
virtual high
Street
five you guys too. Let me headbutt.
Hashtag CODPod.
Hashtag CODPod.
Hashtag CODPod. Hashtag Noob Tour Podcast.
Thank you.
All right.
See you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next
Better
time.
ending. I think we
Woohoo.
can do a better ending than that.
Yeah. We could.
Yeah.
Should.
Shit. Do I have to do a better ending than that?
I never thought I'd say this.
Oh, sorry. No, this is a different video. Well, thanks everybody for showing up to the first episode of Noob Tour Podcast. Make sure to drop a like and drop in the comments what you guys are looking forward to in Black Ops 6. Like, are you looking forward to the omnidirectional movement the most, or are you looking forward to the score streak system, and also like what things would you like changed? Because I think the score streak system needs to have looping streaks. That I think is the number one thing I want changed as of right now. If you guys had to pick one thing to change from the information you've heard here today, let me know. I'll try to repeat it to the devs too if I agree with it. I'd love to hear your insight, and I like to read and respond to all the comments I get. So I will see you in the comment section below, and in the next episode, and in the next video. So peace out, homies. Thanks for watching and or listening, podcast listeners.